begun.
Seeing those moves in the offseason, coming in this year, I think we have a good team, and I think we can do something special with these guys.
We have more guys who look like they could play in the league than I could fit in one group.
Live from the Madhouse on Madison, it's hockey time.
Kubalik with a backhand, he scores!
Now, welcome the Chicago Blackhocks radio broadcast team. Here's John Whiteman.
The Chicago Blackhocks finished the preseason schedule tonight here at the United Center in the second meeting with the Minnesota Wild in the span of 3 nights. And with both teams facing tough decisions on final roster makeup, I think an entertaining hockey game is in store for these fans here inside the UC. Well, hi again, everyone. John Whiteman along with Colby Cohen. Joe Brand is standing by in Blackhawk Studios, Blackhawk Central Studios. We want to welcome you into our broadcast here this evening, the Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild. Well, Jeremy Colleton pretty well said it, Colby. He said this isn't make or break. We don't want these guys to treat this as a make or break situation. But in the minds of some of these guys, they're feeling that it kind of is. So being able to put those thoughts beside and play the game of hockey, I think is going to be pretty important for the young guys on both teams.
Yeah, it's a big test right now. The preseason is winding down, which means that regular season ramp up is right on your heels. The speed, the physicality, everything is amped right now. We're looking at 2 rosters tonight that are full NHL rosters. If you've made it to this point, you're an NHL caliber player. So that's exciting. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing this makeup and this team and how they're starting to gel together here tonight.
And before we get into the sponsored elements, I want to throw you a nice big softball. Mackenzie Entwistle and Henrik Borgstrom have both had good camps. Entwistle, for my money, has had the best camp. I would think for him tonight, all he's got to do is keep on doing what he's been doing, and he's going to join us for that trip to Colorado.
Yeah, Entwistle's had a lot of energy in camp, and it has been really noticeable. He has forechecked well. He's been responsible defensively, and it's a bonus when your fourth-line players are chipping in and scoring goals. For Borgstrom, not quite as noticeably offensive, but that doesn't matter. They're not worried as much about the offense with Borgstrom. They want to see him be complete in those other 2 zones because they know, John, that the offense will come.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to some sponsored items, beginning with tonight's injury report, sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. Well, it's a couple of defensemen the Blackhawks are concerned with. Caleb Jones is going to be out 2 to 4 weeks with a wrist injury. In fact, I think the recent update was 6 weeks on that. So let's hope that he's a quick healer and that span of time can be more like 2 weeks. And the other guy, Wyatt Kalynuk, is going to be out 2 to 4 weeks as well, a high ankle sprain. Guys, best of luck and good health to both of those gentlemen. Get back into the lineup real soon. Now I turn to Colby for the pick to perform here tonight, and it's the last game of the preseason. This should be an interesting pick.
Absolutely, and I'm looking at a guy by the name of Dylan Strome, who's we're all pretty familiar with all of the good that Dylan Strome can bring to this lineup. He's a guy they're looking for some more consistency out of. Scored a goal on the power play when we were in Minnesota the other night. And this is a guy who is fighting for a role on this hockey club right now. I expect to see him be good tonight. His back is a little bit against the wall. He's going to need to play well if he wants to find himself in that lineup against Colorado.
Yeah, you mentioned him the other night in Minnesota. He had the goal, and he had an unbelievable chance there in overtime, and just was not able to convert. So we'll be keeping an eye on Dylan Strome for sure. I understand you've got one more little bit of business?
Yeah, that pick to perform is sponsored by Ditch Witch Midwest. Since 1970, Ditch Witch Midwest has been your partner for trenchers, cable plows, and directional drills. Visit ditchwitchmidwest.com.
Well, we got a good crowd assembled here inside the United Center tonight. I don't believe it'll be a capacity crowd, but it seems like this crowd looks a little bit better than both of the last 2 preseason games, Colby. I don't know if you'll agree with that or not, but it looks to me like it's a better crowd anyway. I think they'll be a lot more enthusiastic, knowing that they're pretty much looking at the team that's going to start the season as the Chicago Blackhocks team. And by the way, I mentioned the start of the season. Let's talk about the home opener for just a minute. Excellent seats remain available for that game. It's going to be the New York Islanders, who played the Tampa Bay Lightning in the conference final over in the East last year. And Colby, you and I have talked about how Lou Lamoriello, their great general manager, has patiently built that team into a very competitive hockey team at the National Hockey League level. So you should see the New York Islanders at the top of the charts on the eastern side of things in the National Hockey League. So they'll be the opponent on opening night. Make sure you don't miss out. Blackhawks and the Islanders coming up in the home opener in about a span of about 10 days, so hope you can join us. But here tonight, it's the Hawks and the Minnesota Wild. Preseason ends tonight regardless. Let's send it down now to ice level as the best soloist in the business, Mr. Jim Cornelison, is standing on the red carpet that extends out from the penalty timekeeper's bench. He's going to deliver our Star-Spangled Banner. Enjoy the anthem, Hawks fans.
All of the members of our military home and abroad, as organist Frank Pellico and soloist Jim Cornelison perform our national anthem.
Nobody does it finer than Jim Cornelison. He is in mid-season form. Star-Spangled Banner. Outstanding. Let's get to the starting lineups. In goal for the Minnesota Wild is Kaapo Kähkönen. He's 2-0-0. He's allowed 6 goals in the preseason, and he's been the Wild's best goaltender in the preseason frame. At defense for the Wild are Jared Spurgeon and Alex Goligoski. Up front from left to right, Kirill Kaprizov starts at left wing. Centering the Wild's opening line is Joel Eriksson-Ek. Starting at the right wing is the Wild's leading scorer in the preseason, Mats Zuccarello. For the Blackhawks, it's Marc-Andre Fleury in goal, 1-1-0 in the preseason. At defense for the Hawks are Connor Murphy and Jake McCabe. Up front from left to right, it's Philip Kurashev at left wing. Centering the Hawks' opening line, Jonathan Toews. Starting at the right wing, Dominik Kubalik. Referees tonight are Gord Dwyer and Brandon Blandina. The linesmen are Libor Sushanik and James Tobas. Last preseason game ready to go for 2021-22. The drop of the puck, and Toews wins another faceoff. He's now 40 for 56 on the preseason. That's over 71%. Hawks get possession with the puck behind the Wild net as Kubalik brought it to the left wing corner. He leaves it there for Philip Kurashev. Kurashev battling with Alex Goligoski, Minnesota native and defenseman for the Wild. Here's Toews in the left corner to Kubalik along the left wing boards. Lost the puck to Jared Spurgeon to the Wild. He'll clear to center ice to Kaprizov, and he'll dump it diagonally into the right wing corner Hawk zone. In to try and get the puck, Jake McCabe, but it's taken back by Mats Zuccarello instead. Put it out to the right point, and it's now taken in the high slot by one of the Wild defensemen, Dmitry Kulikov. He slaps it down to the left wing side. Here's Zuccarello centering the puck. It deflects off of Kubalik's stick to the near boards. Kaprizov took it back in centers. Picked off now by Jake McCabe. Banks a pass on the right wing to Kubalik. He's in over the Wild line, shouldering there with Kaprizov. Lost the puck down to the corner, and the Hawks will now complete a line change as Kubalik will head to the bench.
Yeah, a couple of good sticks by Kubalik, and talking about the evolution of his game.
Here now, Kevin Fiala behind the Hawk net, carrying out the near side of the corner, tried to center it. It's patted out of the crease Into the near corner it goes. And spun back around to the right point for Matthew Dumba, but taken away by the Hawks' Patrick Kane. Quick pass across the rink on the right wing. Alex DeBrincat at the Minnesota line. He'll dump the puck into the right wing corner, and a big thundering check there by Tyler Johnson on Matt Dumba. Extricates the puck, but the Wild get it. Fiala into the Hawks' own right wing side. Fed it across left circle. Jordy Ben, the younger brother of Jamie Ben, firing a shot. It's kicked out of there. Back the other way come the Hawks. Borgstrom across the Wild line to the left wing boards. He'll spin it down to the left wing corner. Fiala took it away there for Minnesota, and he'll carry behind his net. Leave the puck back there to the aforementioned Jordy Ben, who sent it into the near corner now. Matthew Dumba. Back to Ben, back of the Wild net. Here's Jordy Ben leaving it behind the net again. Now to Dumba near corner as the Wild will regroup and start up. Dumba outlets up the left wing to center ice. Marcus Foligno. He'll flip the puck down to the left wing corner in the Hawks zone. Riley Stillman in to get it. And as he touches, the whistle blows. And they're going to bring the faceoff back down ice. No score, 17:46 left in period one.
Well, let's talk about every goal and assist this year scored by Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves. Will be sponsored by ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check out Chevy's shop. Click and drive. Shop online 24/7 at ChevyDriveChicago.com. And we got both of them in the lineup tonight. I have a feeling we might be reading that one again a couple of times, Sean.
You might want to memorize that thing.
I think I might have to this year.
Yeah, off the draw, the Wild control in their end. Alex Goligoski between the circles. Snaps a pass up the left wing for former Hawk Ryan Hartman that skips past him and down in behind the Hawk net. Fleury played it into the near corner. And then Connor Murphy from in front of the net. Bats a loose puck across to the near boards. Kirby Doc got it there to Murphy. Passing up the right wing, Dylan Strome, center ice. He'll fling it across the rink into the Wild zone. But it's played back by Spurgeon ahead to Hartman. He moves down the right side and shoots and scores. That's over the left shoulder of Marc-Andre Fleury. The former Hawk Ryan Hartman gives the Wild a 1-0 lead. And the goal, 2:43 into period number one. And that one agitated Marc-Andre Fleury a little bit.
Yeah, Hartman, who's a right-handed shot, lets a wrist shot go right from the right face-off circle, so not on the best angle. And I think you nailed it on the head. He beats him up over the glove, and Marc-Andre Fleury took the puck out of the net and shot it into the corner. It certainly irritated him. I think it caught him a little bit off guard, maybe a little bit of a change-up, but a period that the Blackhawks started well. They got in on the forecheck. They were getting action, having opportunities to transition, and then a little bit of a fluky goal there by Minnesota.
We get a whistle now as icing is called against the Hawks. And for Ryan Hartman, that is his second goal on the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see Ryan Hartman beat Marc-Andre Fleury point blank. He's not a guy who's known for being a sniper. It was a good shot, but again, I think Fleury did not like the fact that one beat him, thought he was a little bit off of his angle, and I'm sure that'll fire him up and just cause him to play a little bit better.
Well, the draw will be to Fleury's right. It's Mackenzie Entwistle in to take the draw, and he wins it. Behind the Hawk net, Jake McCabe. Bats a pass up the left wing. Here's Ryan Carpenter racing into the left wing corner in the Wild zone with Wild defenseman John Merrill. And then Entwistle is in a little bit late on the scene, falls over a leg, but got the puck to Carpenter. To the left circle, Jujar Kara, who will turn around and fire. And one of the Wild players, I believe that was Kulikov, got his stick on that shot, deflecting it up into the protective netting. 1-0 Minnesota.
Well, it's good to have fans back in the United Center, and the Chills are back. Join us for a special night of festivities as we return to the United Center in full voice for the first time in nearly 19 months to kick off the 21-22 season. Visit Blackhawks.com/tickets to secure your seats now.
Nick Bjugstad facing off with the Hawks' Mackenzie Entwistle. Entwistle wins it for the Hawks. Here's Kara in the left wing corner. Swipes the puck behind the Wild net. Slides up the far boards. Brendan Duhaime of the Wild will now drop it back to Jordy Ben. Over to Matt Dumba, right wing side, and he'll spin it ahead off the boards deep into the Hawk zone. Fleury's out behind the net to play it around the glass. And it bounces free. Duhaime, and the slot was tied up. The puck slides in on Fleury. He'll bat it behind the Hawk net, and Philip Kurashev will carry out the center ice. Kurashev with a full head of speed in over the Wild line, down beside the net where he flipped it up the slot. And that's picked off by Kaprizov of the Wild. To Matthew Dumba, center ice, ran into a check from Kurashev, lost the puck. Kubalik now into the Wild zone. had the puck knocked off his stick, and then Kurashev put it into the Wild end as Kubalik was inside. We had a delayed offside situation. Meanwhile, here's Kaprizov taking the puck into the Hawks zone, lost it between the circles. The Hawks, Calvin DeHaan will just chip it out to center ice. Goligoski with the puck, Wild blue line, over to Spurgeon. Spurgeon right wing to center ice, crossing the Hawk line. Spurgeon down to the corner. Stick it down the boards in behind the net to the far corner. Foligno sends the puck back around, kept it at the right point, Zuccarello. Now to Spurgeon, to Kaprizov, to Zuccarello near the left point. And to Kaprizov at the left point. Here's Kaprizov dropping it off to Goligoski. Down to Zuccarello, and he'll spin it back in behind the Hawk net around to the near side. Kaprizov again runs into a check. Here's Kaprizov at the right point. Put the puck down to the corner where Seth Jones knocks Zuccarello down to the ice. But Zuccarello back on his feet, got the puck in his skates, kicks it to his stick in the slot and fires, and that deflects wide. Well, the Wild are just all over the Hawks right now. Here's DeBrincat clearing the puck up the right side. Kane, center ice. Moving it to Johnson over the Wild line. Left wing drop pass to DeBrincat, left circle. He fires, and it trickles just wide of the Wild net. And the Wild get the puck back. Rem Pitlick, the son of Lance Pitlick, moves the puck ahead down into the Hawk zone. And Ian Mitchell will steer it in behind to Stillman. To Mitchell on the right wing side. He shot it ahead to Patrick Kane, who had the puck knocked off his stick back into the Hawk zone, and we get a whistle on an offside call against the Wild. 1-0 Minnesota.
John, you mentioned Patrick Kane, and he joined the illustrious 1,000 NHL game club last March, but during a season without fans in attendance, he chose to postpone the celebration until he could be back home with the best fans in the NHL. Be there October 21st, and visit blackhawks.com/tickets to secure your seats.
Now carrying out of the Wild zone, this is Kulikov. Took it across the Hawk line to Hartman along the left wing boards. He spun it across the rink. Actually, that was Frederick Gaudreau. The Hawks will get the puck back anyway. Kirby Dach sends it to the Wild blue line. John Merrill settling it down. Gave it to Dmitry Kulikov in the far corner, former #1 pick of the Florida Panthers. He turned the puck over inside his line, but then reaches and knocks it off of Borgstrom's stick to center ice. And the Hawks, Ian Mitchell will drive it back down the boards into the Wild zone. Puck circles the net, ends up the near side. Fiala at the Hawk line, gave it over to big Jordan Greenway in the far corner. He fell under Connor Murphy. Murphy took the puck. Head to Ryan Carpenter, crossing the Wild line. Gave it to Entwistle. He'll fire from the left circle. Kicked out of there by Kakkonen.
That's the second shift in a row. This Chicago Blackhawk fourth line with an offensive chance.
Now Greenway given a bump right at the Hawk line by Jujhar Khaira. Backhands the puck down in front of the Hawk net. Murphy's able to clean it up by moving it out to center ice, but then big Greenway took it away. Flipped it back to the Wild blue line to Dumba. Over to Jordy Ben, then out to Greenway over the center ice circle. Slap pass to Dumba. He'll carry ahead to the Hawk line. Lost the puck to Jujhar Khaira. He'll send it down to the far corner Hawk zone to Murphy. Back to Khaira up the right wing to Entwistle to center ice. Runs heavy with Hartman in front of the benches, but the Hawks get the puck. And now Kurashev runs into a check from Spurgeon at the Wild blue line and tips the puck down into the Wild zone. Goligoski will bring it out. Goligoski to Duhaime over the Hawk line to Bjugstad. He'll fire from the high slot, and Fleury down with a butterfly save. Wraparound attempt that by Nico Sturm. It's turned out of there by Fleury again, who's lost his goal stick. And now Kurashev's able to put the puck to center ice. Taken back by Spurgeon. He'll fire a long one down in on Fleury, who gloves the puck and then drops it behind the Hawk net to Seth Jones as the whistle blows. 1-0 Minnesota with 12:33 left in period number 1 here at the United Center. Hawks and Wild. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
We know a dirty little secret about you. You have a team of engineers, and you have no idea what they're capable of. Are they ready for multi-cloud? Are they certified? How advanced are their Java skills? Cloud Academy can give you that insight. Assess your team, develop their skills and experience, and get a full picture of their tech abilities so you can plan your IT projects and get predictable results. Get started and assess your team today for free at cloudacademy.com/team.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit InsureKidsNow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Bob Surratt.
That old DJ is worth listening to.
Bob Surratt starts your day.
Welcome back into the United Center. The Blackhawks trailing the Minnesota Wild 1-0 with 12:33 remaining in the first period. And a little bit of a lopsided start after a couple of good opening shifts by the Blackhawks, but it's been a little bit all Minnesota out shooting the Blackhawks 8-1, getting the better of play, using the transition game, and the Blackhawks are looking for a couple of big shifts as Jonathan Toews heads in to take this opening draw.
And the draw won by the Wild. Kulikov at the Wild blue line will pass ahead to his countryman Kaprizov across the Hawk line to Zuccarello high slot, moves it over to Merrill, and from the top of the left circle he unloads a shot that deflects wide. Kulikov got it back at the right point, lost the puck, however, to Calvin DeHaan. Quick pass up the right wing, Kurashev over the Wild line, put it out in front to the league, deflects it in on goal, and it's turned out of there by Kakkonen, and just barely. And the Wild now will counterattack. Kaprizov into the Hawk zone, down the left wing to the corner. He's given a taste to the boards there behind the net by Seth Jones, and DeHaan will take the puck, give it to Seth Jones. He's through center ice and over the Wild line to Kane, right wing boards. Put it out to the left point, Riley Stillman. Moving down, tried to center the puck. Stillman in the left wing corner, battling with one of the Wild there. It's taken back by Kane. Kane along the left boards and coughed up the puck, and then Kulikov hit by Stillman as they battle near the point. And now DeBrincat in to steal the puck, wheeling to the slot, will fire. Blocked by Zuccarello. Stillman took the puck back left wing circle, tried to flip it in front. This is picked off by the Wild's John Merrill, and he'll backhand it up the right side to center ice for Eriksson Ek. Taken back by Stillman to Tyler Johnson across the Wild line to DeBrincat right circle. Fed it back to the left point. This deflects past Stillman down to the Hawk blue line. Stillman to get it to Kane Wild line to DeBrincat over the line, and he'll wrist one from the slot in and out of the glove of Kakkonen. Great chance there for the Cat. Into the Hawk zone now. The Wild, Kevin Fiala, Swiss native, drops it off high slot. Jordy Ben with a drive and a blocker save made by Fleury. Puck taken back by Kirby Dach of the Hawks to Patrick Kane through center ice and over the Wild line. Put it over left wing circle to Brinkett. Now he leaves it across right circle. Murphy who shoots, and Kakkonen with a scrambling save will sit on the puck in the paint of the crease and hold it. Whistle stops play, 1-0 Wild, face-off to Kapanen's left.
Yeah, long shift by Patrick Kane there, but he made a lot of plays happen on that shift. A couple of good forechecking opportunities, but what impressed me was his ability to not be denied along the wall. He wins 2 battles, which result in chances for the Chicago Blackhawks. Gives DeBrincat a couple of opportunities right in the slot. So good to see Patrick Kane getting involved along the wall, winning puck battles, which, I mean, his ability to protect the puck and use his stick to create is one of the things that just makes him so impressive.
I would totally agree. And we've seen that. I've been witness to that in the last 14 years. And it's been my good fortune to be able to see that. Here's Kirby Dach down into toward the left wing half boards in the Wild zone. Squeezed off the puck by Ben. Strome came along and took it behind the net. Put the puck around to the right wing boards. Murphy takes a hit from 2 Wild players and sends the puck down behind the Wild net. Borgstrom battling with Jordy Ben. Fed it free, bottom of the right circle to Kirby Dach, who got away a shot. Deflects over the net. Dach at the blue line, deep slot now. Will sling it into the right wing corner. And this bounces past Borgstrom behind the Wild net into the near corner. Ryan Hartman will put it back in behind the Wild net, far corner. Ben will stick it up the left wing side. It's picked off just inside the line by Kirby Dach. Dach now backhands it to the left wing corner, Wild end. Ryan Carpenter in to get it. Battling there with Jordy Ben. Carpenter from Oviedo, Florida, and Ben from Victoria, British Columbia. Both made the National Hockey League, both big, strong guys. Wild get the puck. Hartman will spin it all the way down the ice, and we're going to get icing here against the Wild. 1-0 Minnesota. Faceoff comes down in the circle to the right of Kakkonen.
Well, one of the more exciting things that Blackhawks have going right now, the 4 Stars collection, which is now available at the CBHshop.com. Inspired by the iconic colors of the city, the 4 Star collection honors the Blackhawks home since its establishment in 1926, featuring styles perfect for hockey season. Visit CBHshop.com to shop now.
Now they've moved the draw circle to the left of Kakkonen, and the Hawks get it off the draw. Seth Jones at the line in the deep slot to DeHaan, left point, firing a shot, deflected on goal by Entwistle, but turned out of there by Kakkonen. And now Dumbo will sling the puck down to the Hawk blue line. DeHaan there to get it to Seth Jones at center ice. To Ryan Carpenter in front of the Wild bench. He swipes the puck down into the Wild zone, and then it's spun back out. That by Goligoski. This deflects up into the Wild bench. 9:13 left in the first here at the United Center. It's the Wild 1 and the Hawks no score. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Flandecker.
Let's face it, there's nothing more attractive than a smart guy with a beard.
Evenings at 7.
Keeping your pet happy and healthy. That's what Chewy is all about. Which is why we offer veterinary diets, prescriptions, even compounded medications customized for your pet, so you can get what they need to feel good. Save on pet prescriptions and more. Visit Chewy.com today.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
WGN Radio conducts a variety of contests throughout the year. Contests are void where prohibited by law. Prizes are non-transferable and cannot be exchanged for cash. Winners are responsible for all taxes associated with prizes. WGN Radio may publicize or broadcast winner names or voices. Winners are ineligible to win within 2 years of receiving prizes over $600 and within 60 days for prizes valued less than $600. Employees and their families of WGN Radio, Nexstar Media Group, and participating sponsors are disqualified. Go to WGNRadio.com/contests for complete disclaimers.
The Blackhawks, Wildcats, and the NFL play here on AM 720. On smart speakers, say play WGN Chicago.
John Weideman along with Colby Cohen and Joe Brand for Chicago Blackhawks preseason hockey. Glad to have you along. We got a good one so far. The Wild lead at 1-0. They've outshot the Blackhawks 9-4, but I get the sense that the momentum is swinging just a little bit, so we'll see if that happens. Inside the Hawk zone on the left wing corner, Brandon Duhaime with the puck, put it out to the left point to Goligoski, to Sturm, top of the left circle. He'll wave the puck down to the end boards. Nick Bjugstad back there, battling with one of the Hawks. That's Kurashev. Kurashev kept the puck away and moved it around at the left wing. Here's Kubalik at center ice, dumping the puck off the right corner boards in the Wild zone, then circling in to try and get it behind the net. He was given a bump off the puck, and the Wild will get the puck. Spurgeon moving it ahead to center ice to Kaprizov, to Eriksson Ek, who waved the puck down in on Marc-Andre Fleury. Makes the easy play, put it behind the net to Murphy. Snaps a pass up the right side. Johnson in front of the benches, deflects the puck into the Wild zone, but the Wild get it back. Here's Kaprizov. Nifty stick handling move on Murphy to get by him, but he couldn't take it away or get it past Alex DeBrincat. The Cat took it away. Here's Kane over the Wild line down the right wing. Backhand shot from an impossible angle, hits the side of the net. Ryan Johnson took the puck back behind, tried to center. This is picked off by Mats Zuccarello. Former Ranger waves the puck across the rink. John Merrill, Connecticut native, right at the Wild blue line. Will now spin it ahead on the right wing side. Here's Gaudreau through center ice and over the Hawk line. Down the right wing, he put it out in front, and this deflects through to the far boards. Wild take it back. Kevin Fiala wheeling through the high slot will let go of a backhand that's into the glove of Marc-Andre Fleury. He holds for a whistle. We get a stoppage in play. Now 7:32 left in period number one. Still 1-0 Wild.
Right now, the Minnesota Wild doing a better job of possessing the puck in the offensive zone. They're using screens, they're using picks, they're moving their feet. So the Blackhawks D, they need to start ending plays. You can't ride on a guy's back hip when there's guys like Kaprizov and Zuccarello wheeling around the offensive zone.
Dumba from the right point to the puck will send it down behind the Hawk net. Back there to try and get it was Rem Pitlick, but it bounced off his stick, and the Hawks come out of their end. Borgstrom to center ice. Waves the puck off the right corner boards in the Wild zone. This will bounce behind the net around to the near side. Taken there by Dylan Strome. Sent it down in behind the Wild net. Kirby Doc there. Out to the right point with a pass now to Jones. Put it back in behind Strome. Put it out in front. They score! Borgstrom with his first goal of the preseason. A beautiful feed from Dylan Strome from behind the Wild net. And Borgstrom caught it on his stick and got it off in the blink of an eye. And the Hawks have now tied the score at 1.
Well, that is a good feeling for a guy who is fighting to make this hockey club right now. And Henrik Borgstrom starts this whole play off by dumping the puck in, getting it by the goaltender, and then winning the battle to keep the play alive. Good play all around. Good puck movement by Dylan Strome, who gets the puck right behind the goaltender. He's a left-handed shot who passes the puck out to Borgstrom on the left side at the top of the crease, and Borgstrom buries it right out in front. Good goal by the Blackhawks. A good forecheck. Smart plays, John, just to advance the puck, realizing you don't have space in the neutral zone. And when Jeremy Colleton talks about forechecking, relentless hockey, that's what it looks like right there. Good work by Strome and Borgstrom.
Well, for Borgstrom, this is actually his second goal of the preseason. He had a goal in Kansas City against the Blues. So here tonight he scores his second on the preseason from Strome at 12:58 of period number 1. So it's 1-1 the score. Face-off circle to the right of Fleury. And now the Hawks will get it off the draw. Here's Carpenter, Hawk line right wing. Waves it across to Jujhar Khaira, center ice. Flipping the puck to the left wing corner in the Wild zone. And now Carpenter in to try and work it free. Did to Khaira along the left wing boards. He had a stick lifted, puck taken away by big Jordan Greenway, who wheels out to the Wild line and then dropped it back into the far corner to Goligoski. He'll send the puck around up the near side. Khaira took it away at the line. Spins it down the boards into the Wild zone, and Spurgeon will sweep it across now to Goligoski. Back to Spurgeon between the circles. Here's Spurgeon. He'll start up from there. Spurgeon to center ice. Lifts the puck through the air down into the catching glove of Marc-Andre Fleury in the Hawk crease. He'll hold it. We get a whistle. Now 6:10 left in the first of a 1-1 hockey game.
A perfect time to talk about ticket plans that are now available with options for every fan's lifestyle, including the all-new 3-game hat-trick plan. Perfect for your family to be part of Blackhawks hockey throughout the season. Visit blackhawks.com/plans to choose your location, gain access to playoff tickets, and receive your choice of a Blackhawks hat from cbhshop.com.
Well, this draw is going to be in the circle to Fleury's left. Jonathan Taves is in to take it against Joel Eriksson-Ek. And we mentioned Taves' success on draws so far in the preseason. This time the Wild get the draw. Kulikov for the right point. Put it to the high slot. Merrill will fire a wrist shot. That deflects wide of the Hawk net. McCabe got to the puck far corner for the Hawks. Lifts it to center ice to Kubalik. Carries in over the Wild line. Top of the right circle. Put it to the slot for Kurashev. It's off his stick, but Kurashev put it behind the Wild net to Taves. To Kurashev in the right wing circle. Lost the puck there as Merrill pulls it off his stick and passes up the left wing to Eriksson-Ek. Then a rink-wide pass for Kaprizov. He stops on the right wing side. Shot it across the rink. Taves plays the puck back into the Hawks zone. The Hawks get possession as the teams are in line change.
The Blackhawks doing a nice job of reloading above the puck, defensive posturing, causing that turnover.
Tyler Johnson takes a pass into the Wild zone to the right circle. Had it knocked off his stick. Look out, here come the Wild. This is Duhaime down the left wing Hawks zone. Moves and shoots. Glove save is made by Marc-Andre Fleury. Boy, Duhaime was going for the corner, and Fleury stuck the glove out and took it away. Now we get a mini melee in behind the Hawk net. Ian Mitchell right in the center of that as the Hawks net has come off of its moorings. And now DeBrincat has hold of Brendan Duhaime, and they grapple a little bit, but it looks like the linesmen have restored order. 5:15 remains in the first. It's the Hawks 1 and the Wild 1. Back after this break, you're listening to Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
AmerisourceBergen is hiring in our distribution centers at a location near you. Our warehouse roles offer competitive wages, sign-on bonuses where applicable, and full medical and dental benefits. Full-time and part-time roles and multiple shifts are available. No experience is necessary. For more information, visit AmerisourceBergen.com/careers and apply online. Again, that's AmerisourceBergen.com/careers to apply online today. AmerisourceBergen is an equal opportunity employer, minority, women, veterans, people with disabilities.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are two of the best life-saving investments for the safety of your family. Mr. Sparky will install the best unit for your home.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
For 75 years, AIR has used evidence to improve lives. Over the next 5, we're investing more than $100 million into social science research so we can build upon a body of evidence that will inform policies and fight systemic inequality. It's called the AIR Equity Initiative, and it's how we'll bridge the gaps that hold us back. Learn more about how we're applying our know-how to right now at air.org/equity.
It's the Hamp and OB Show.
Get rid of this clown.
Before and after every Bears game. Now, back to the game.
Welcome back into the United Center. 1-1, 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first period. Coming off a huge save by Marc-Andre Fleury on Brandon Duhaime. Almost a 2-on-0 for the Minnesota Wild. That resulted in a little bit of a melee, as you called it, John. Everybody had a dance partner, and they were all asking each other about their golf game, and now we're back to hockey.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, before they put in that instigator rule, back in the day, Colby, the Hawks and a team from Minnesota, then known as the North Stars, something like that would have erupted, and we'd still be here talking about it.
So you mean to tell me they weren't asking about their handicaps on the golf course?
Not then.
All right. Well, I can't hear from up here.
I was going to say, not back then. Back then it was, as I used to say with Troy, minatory stares and some threats and some terse looks. I'm sure maybe some fist flying.
Troy might have had a couple of choice words for guys when he played. Yeah. I get the sense he wasn't afraid to make his presence known with a couple of chirps here and there.
No, not Troy Murray. He never backed down, and boy, I'll tell you, in the days of the stadium, Troy Murray would be the first guy in to finish a check to get a building going, and it was just great. Here's the Brinket in front with a pass. He scores! Lloyd Kane fed the Brinket from the right wing corner in the Wild zone. The Brinket was all by himself. There was nobody within 50 feet of him except for the goaltender Kakinen, who he beat with a shot. It's 2-1 Hawks.
Anytime you give Patrick Kane time and space, boy, you are flirting with trouble. And Patrick Kane, who is a left-handed shot, ends up with the puck in the right-handed corner, sees Alex DeBrincat all alone in front of the net. He almost looked up and smiled before he made the pass out to DeBrincat in front, and Alex DeBrincat's not going to miss many alone in front of the net. Nope. He bangs the shot in. The goaltender makes the first save. He puts in the rebound into the empty net, and just like that, the building is alive, and it's 2-1 Blackhawks.
And for the Cat, that's his third preseason goal in as many games, with Kane assisting. DeBrincat from Kane at 15:15 of period number 1.
That goal was, the assist sponsored by ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check out Chevy Shop, Click and Drive. Shop online 24/7 at ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Here's Sturm in the left wing corner, Wild zone. Leaves the puck there, Henrik Borgstrom. He's pushed away by Bjugstad, but retains the puck, put it out to the left point to Hahn. He charges into the left circle with it, then to the left corner. Tried to flip the puck behind the Wild net, picked off by Spurgeon to Nick Bjugstad. The Spurgeon back of the Wild net. He'll stick it around at the left wing, Brandon Duhaime. Now to Bjugstad, and he'll tip the puck down to the Hawk blue line. Doubling back is Dylan Strome. Wild in a line change. Here's Strome with a pass to Kirby Dach. Wild line left wing. He slaps it down into the Wild zone, and he hit one of the referees. That's Brandon Blandina. As we continue on, Blandina looks like he's going to be okay. Taves with the puck now along the left boards. Here's Taves. Fed it through top of the left circle of McCabe. That's picked off by the Wild's Ryan Hartman. To Jordan Greenway, center ice on the left wing. He sends it over to the right wing corner Hawk zone. Marcus Foligno to get it there for Ryan Hartman. Hartman works it free, but the Hawks take the puck back. McCabe snaps a pass up the left wing to Kubalik. Sent it across to Taves. Hawk line right wing. He tried to go rink wide with a pass. Picked off by Hartman. He'll wheel down into the right wing side of the Hawk zone and rifle a shot over the net. And the puck ends up down in the Wild zone. Zuccarello's got it in the circle to the right of Kakkonen and hands it off there to Wild defenseman Dmitry Kulikov. To Kaprizov, steaming through center ice and over the Hawk line, down the left wing to the corner. Kaprizov still has the puck now to the half boards. To Eriksson Ek, back of the net. He runs into a check there from Carpenter. And DeHaan to the puck from behind the net. Will put it near corner Carpenter, who backhands it ahead up the left wing side. Mackenzie Entwistle center ice. He'll stick the puck off the boards deep into the Wild zone, where Jujhar Khaira finishes his check on Jordy Ben in the corner, but the Wild come out of their end. Kaprizov handing the puck off to Zuccarello to the Hawk line. Lifts a bouncing puck down in on Fleury, who quickly passes to center ice to Carpenter. To Jujhar Khaira along the left wing boards, and he'll backhand it down behind the net. Then Khaira got it back along the left boards and fires immediately in on goal. And Kakkonen is down with a butterfly save. He'll hold it.
This
2-1 Hawks.
This Blackhawk fourth line continuing to impress, continuing to spend a majority of their time in the offensive zone with Jujhar Khaira, Ryan Carpenter, and Mackenzie Entwistle playing with a lot of energy. And if your fourth line is spending 70 or 80% of their shifts in the offensive zone, that is a big thing for your hockey club. That is great for your depth. It puts pressure on the bottom of the other team's lineup, and I've really liked the makeup of this line throughout preseason.
So the Wild will get the puck back on Goligoski to center ice in the left wing, front of the benches, firing the puck down the boards into the Hawk zone. Spurgeon now from the right point, sends it in front, and a backhand shot there is gobbled up by Marc-Andre Fleury. That shot came off the stick of Kevin Fiala, who has a knack for getting to the front of the net. That Fiala, he's a dangerous guy from about 10 feet out.
Has a lot of speed, and he's not afraid to use that quick release high in the slot. I've seen it a handful of times. He played on Nashville, had some success there. He comes over to Minnesota, and he's picked up right where he left off.
Swiss-born native. He started with the Nashville Predators, played against the Blackhawks in that memorable 2017 playoff collapse by the Hawks, where they were swept by the Nashville Predators in 4 games after a 109-point season. Kane carrying out of the Hawk zone to center ice will lift the puck down to the left wing corner in the Wild zone. And Goligoski moves it up the right side. Here's Gaudreau, Hawk line, given a shove by Stillman off the puck. Puck tumbles behind the net. Seth Jones sent it around. Goligoski at the left point will try and fire it to the net, and never got through. And now Jones is able to slap it across the rink. Stillman from the left wing side will send a pass up the left wing for DeBrincat that missed. Ends up in the Wild zone. Jared Spurgeon's got it as the Wild regroup. Spurgeon at the Wild line. Passing over to Goligoski, then back over to Spurgeon. Wild line, right wing again. Put it out to center ice to Duhaime, then back to Spurgeon, Wild zone. To Goligoski, to Spurgeon again, this time between the circles. Quick pass up the right side to Sturm. Hands it off in over the Hawk line to Duhaime. He put it in front. Here's Sturm with a backhand. Big save made by Fleury, and he didn't see the puck. Fleury got down in the butterfly position and stopped that shot with his pad. And he was looking right. The puck was laying in front of his left pad, and he didn't see it. Connor Murphy came along and swept it out of there. Wild attack again. Duhaime into the Hawk zone to Sturm. Left circle. Put it out in front. And Duhaime can't finish the mission as the puck hit the backhand part of his blade of his stick and tumbles behind the Hawk net. 30 seconds left in the period. Along the near boards, Hawk zone. They battle. And the puck is taken by Bukestad of the Wild. He'll send it in behind the Hawk net off the dasher. Murphy put it up the right side to Borgstrom. To Strome, center ice to Kirby Dach coming by. Reaching in to take it away was Kulikov of the Wild, and he'll take a hit as he sends the puck down into the Hawk zone. Murphy spun it around to Strome, right wing side. The Kubalik at center ice with 6 seconds on the clock. Now the Dach right circle. He flips it toward the Wild net. Kakkonen will glove it and hold it for a whistle. 3 seconds remain in the period. The Hawks have a 2-1 lead, and the face-off will be in the Wild zone. I believe it's going to be in the circle to Kakkonen's left.
Chicago doing a nice job of fighting back this period. Didn't have the greatest start, probably not one they loved. Marc-Andre Fleury lets that first goal in that he was annoyed about, and he's really come back and had a strong finish to this first period, making a lot of big saves and timely saves at that, John.
Taves in to take the draw against Eriksson Ek. If Taves can win it cleanly, let's see. The drop of the puck. No, Eriksson Ek ties him up in the face-off circle, and there's the horn. 20 minutes are in the books. The Blackhawks lead the Minnesota Wild 2-1 after spotting the team from 10,000 Lakes, land of 10,000 Lakes, a 1-0 lead. And they've been outshot by the Wild 17-9. But they'll take a 2-1 lead into the dressing room after 20 minutes. Not bad.
I really like the play of Marc-Andre Fleury. I like seeing the emotion out of him. That first goal goes in. He was not pleased with himself, and he really shut the door the rest of that first period. And that's a big thing for a guy who's ramping up. Guys who have been in the NHL a long time, they ramp up throughout training camp. They save their best for the end of the preseason, moving into the start of the season, and that's what we're seeing with Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, and I think you can kind of see why, and you were talking about it, but I think you can kind of see why, just what you were talking about. These guys are getting themselves ready for the regular season, and a guy like Marc-Andre Fleury, I'm not going to call him a perfectionist, but let's just say that he's pretty accomplished at what he's doing, right? I mean, that's kind of like the understatement of the half century. If you're a guy like that, and mentally you are used to winning, something like that can kind of throw you off kilter a little bit, but it was a nice recovery for the rest of the period.
Absolutely. Ramping is really the perfect word. He's not a guy who's trying to make this hockey club. He knows he's going to be the starter, and getting himself to the level that he needs to be at to start in Colorado next Wednesday. That is the most important thing for a guy like Fleury, who's been around for quite a while.
How about Borgstrom? Nice finish on that Strome pass, huh? What do you think?
Absolutely. Borgstrom has been good the last 2 games. We picked him as a player to perform last game. He played a real complete 3 periods. Tonight he gets the goal. He's getting an opportunity on the wing. They flipped him from the right side to the left side. He's a big guy with a lot of skill, so his game developing and seeing his game become more reliable is huge for this Blackhawk team.
All right, let's head downstairs and talk to our intermission guest. It's Ryan Carpenter. Ryan, we really appreciate you giving us some time here in the intermissions. Hey, this is your 3rd training camp now for the Blackhawks. 3rd training camp. How has this one been different from the last 2?
Maybe just different than the last one. Felt like it's been pretty hard. A lot of skates at the end of practices, and I feel like the boys are working hard. There's a lot of competition, whether it's young guys that have been in the organization or guys they brought in. Seems like there's a ton of forwards and D, and I feel like we just got better all over. So, just working hard, and personally, just trying to win a spot.
Ryan, you've got a couple of those new bodies that you were just talking about playing on your line with Mackenzie Entwistle and Jujhar Khaira, but throughout that period, you spent a majority of your shifts in the offensive zone. And for the bottom, the 4th line or the 3rd line, to be able to do that, to play in the offensive zone, what does that mean to the team and the ability to really control and possess the puck?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's Jeremy. That's what he expects out of us, and that's what we want our line as our identity as a depth line to be, whether we're scoring or not. At least we can be creating some momentum and maybe wearing them down. But yeah, we're trying to be clean on breakouts and be simple through the neutral zone if we didn't have a play to make. And so a couple times I think we just chipped it, went and got it back, and eventually if you do it enough, I don't think D like turning and going back for pucks. And so if you do it enough, eventually you get the right bounce and maybe a great A after it.
Now, Ryan, I mentioned that this is your 3rd training camp. This is also your 3rd season with this team. You've been around long enough to kind of know what I'm going to ask here. How close is this Blackhawks team ready to start the regular season?
Oh, it feels ready. I mean, I feel like we got a full lineup tonight, and I don't know. I mean, it just feels like we got some good energy with the young guys here that are competing for spots, myself included, and then some having Taser back and Fleury back there in net and signing Jones. Feels like there's just a lot of excitement. I know there's a lot of excitement in the city, but just a lot of excitement in this locker room. But I mean, we know in this league to win, it takes a lot of hard work, and so tonight we want to just have a good second here and a good third, and just finish strong and feel confident going into the season.
Ryan, you mentioned the young guys, and one of them's your line mate, Mackenzie Entwistle. He came into camp. He's added a spark. It seems like his lines have been going. What can you tell us about playing with a guy like this, a young 22-year-old who's trying to make this hockey club?
Yeah, I mean, he deserves to be here. I mean, apart from maybe the 4 goals he's had and the great plays he's made, I mean, I think he's done all the little things away from the puck too, which I think ultimately if you're going to be on the 3rd or 4th line, sometimes that's what you got to be doing, whether you're producing or not. And so it seems like whether he's been scoring or not, his game hasn't really changed. I think every game he's been super noticeable out there, skates really well and does everything Jeremy wants, and so he's an easy guy to play with.
Well, Ryan, you're always a great guy to talk to and so generous with your time. Thanks for this, and go get him in the 2nd period. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, boys.
All right, Ryan Carpenter, our guest. After 1 period, the Hawks lead the Minnesota Wild 2-1. Joe Brand is standing by in Blackhawk Central with a full intermission report for you good folks, and then we'll be back here with period number 2, Hawks and Wild. Last game of the preseason. Stick around. This is going to be fun. 2-1 Hawks after one period here at the United Center over the Wild. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
That's for you. Answer the call from patients who need plasma. Donations are down, so give plasma at a Grifols Center and receive compensation. Visit grifolsplasma.com.
Come into Bell Tire today. You'll get the lowest tire price, period. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. You'll also get a guy who will give you free lifetime flat repairs, tire rotations, and alignment checks. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. Plus more free services and more out of your tires and more for your money. It's how we make the lowest tire price feel even lower at Bell Tire. See store and belltire.com for details and offer expiration.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is reconnecting neighborhoods by growing community gardens and farms through the Love Tito's Block to Block program. By teaming up with Love Tito's, Growing Places Indy is able to replace and rebuild raised garden beds at its main farm site. To lend a hand and become a volunteer, visit growingplacesindy.org/volunteer. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Every enterprise needs a reliable, high-performing network that can scale as needs change. That's why Everstream is expanding our business-only fiber network in the area. Our Ethernet, dedicated internet access, and dark fiber services deliver capacity up to 100 gigs. With class-leading low latency, no-charge bandwidth bursting, and direct peering to the cloud apps you use most. Don't settle for the telecom status quo. Choose a partner that's raising the bar for business connectivity. Visit everstream.net today.
It's time for an intermission update. Here's Joe Brand.
Anybody that has worn or is wearing a Blackhawks sweater has scored at the United Center tonight. Ryan Hartman got the scoring off for the Minnesota Wild, but then Henrik Borgstrom and Alex DeBrincat giving the Blackhawks a lead despite Minnesota leading in shots on goal 17-9 through the first 20 minutes over at the United Center. I'm Joe Brand as we're at our first intermission break here on Blackhawks Hockey 720 WGN. Let's take a look around the NHL. The Colorado Avalanche lead the Dallas Stars right now 3-2. A couple of goals for Nate McKinnon with just less than 5 minutes left in regulation. How about our old pal David Kampf? He's on the line with Nick Ritchie and Mitch Marner, with Austin Matthews down and the Toronto Maple Leafs leading the Ottawa Senators 4-1 right now in Toronto. That line scoring as Ritchie put in a goal. Penguins and Blue Jackets are tied at 3. There's less than 3 minutes left in the third period, but the Pens are on a power play. Rangers lead the Islanders 4-3 in New York. They're the Islanders are hosting that game. The Sharks lead the Golden Knights 3-0. They're in the second period in San Jose. Oilers and Canucks just underway in the first period in Vancouver. And the Ducks visit the Kings later on tonight. Take a look around the MLB postseason. The Dodgers and Giants are without a score. They're just underway in Game 2 in San Fran. Giants leading that series 1-0. Atlanta evened up the series against the Milwaukee Brewers today. A 3-0 winner over the Brew Crew up in Milwaukee. Max Fried with the victory. The White Sox will play tomorrow night hosting Houston for Game 3 of a best-of-5 series in that American League Division Series. Houston winning the first 2 games of that best-of-5 set. In college football, Notre Dame with a 14-3 lead over Virginia Tech right now. They're at halftime. And one more note in the hockey world, as Alex Ovechkin is actually did not was taken off the ice yesterday in the game against, as I'm trying to pull up the actual stat. He left the game, the preseason finale against the Philadelphia Flyers at Capital One Arena yesterday with a lower body injury. Ovechkin was slow to get up after hitting Flyers forward Travis Konechny in the first period. When play was stopped, Ovechkin did get up. He coasted to the bench and limped over to the locker room. So we'll keep an eye on Alex Ovechkin throughout the rest of this preseason. We've got plenty to break down. A couple of goals for the Blackhawks in that first period. We'll have Colby Cohen helping us out after this break. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey on 720 WGN.
Siraj. Every morning I prove it's possible to talk in your sleep for 4 hours.
An excerpt from There Is Nothing for You Here, read by the author Fiona Hill.
The impeachment of a president was a historic moment. This meant that whether I liked it or not, I was part of history. As an academically trained historian, I found the personal aspect unsettling. But history's written from the raw material of moments like this. Today's media headlines, telegraphing the significance of a current event, become tomorrow's footnotes in formal historical analysis.
There Is Nothing for You Here is available as a Mariner hardcover, ebook, and audiobook wherever books are sold.
That's for you. Answer the call from patients who need plasma. Donations are down, so give plasma at a Grifols Center and receive compensation. Visit grifolsplasma.com.
These days, we're all getting more screen time, which means we're also getting more blue light exposure than ever before. Too much blue light can make your eyes feel tired, dry, or blurry. It can also affect your sleep. Zenni's Blocks lenses help to protect the eyes by keeping harmful blue light out. Because they're virtually clear, add blocks to any Zenni frame for stylish, all-day protection. Get a complete pair of prescription or non-prescription Blocks glasses starting at just $24. Protect your eyes now at Zenni.com.
Hey.
A 2-1 lead for the Blackhawks over the Minnesota Wild after the first period over at the United Center. I'm Joe Brand. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey on 720 WGN. Hey, don't forget after the game to tune into the Bitcoin of America Chicago Blackhawks postgame show for player and coach interviews, fan reaction, and game analysis. Let's bring back in Colby Cohen, who's been on the call with John. And Colby, I thought we were going to break down kind of a lackluster start for this team, but it's got to be really nice to see the offense be able to have a resurgence, even if they're not playing their best hockey right out of the gate.
What was interesting was the first shift or two of the game, Chicago controlled play. They got the puck in deep, they possessed it a little bit and had a couple of looks towards the net, but it quickly got lopsided back in Minnesota's favor for another 7 or 8 minutes leading into about the halfway point of that first period. And you're right, it was a big rebound by Chicago, and it started with the depth up front. A lot of good opportunities, good plays, and good shifts by the third and the fourth line by the Blackhawks. And that's one of the things we asked Ryan Carpenter about, being in the offensive zone as your fourth line. And he said that's what Jeremy Colliton expects. He wants to see the depth lines keeping it clean, keeping it simple, getting pucks in, and trying to play in the offensive zone.
I know that goal given up by Marc-Andre Fleury is probably one he'd like to have back, but very stellar for the majority of this first period. He almost looks to be in midseason form, no?
He was annoyed at himself after that first goal. I'm not sure what the cameras on the game caught or what it didn't catch, but he shot the puck into the corner and was visibly frustrated with himself. And boy, did he lock it down the rest of the period. He was tested 3 or 4 times. Real timely saves that he made. He looks like his game is ready to go for the opening faceoff. But that's what the best goalies do in the NHL. They erase mistakes. All hockey teams, all defensemen, all forwards, they're going to turn pucks over. There wouldn't be goals in hockey if there were no mistakes. But when you have a guy like Fleury, you seem to forget about those mistakes because he's generally locking it down and making the save and bailing you out. I mean, when you're a defenseman and you've got him behind you, you're thanking him at least once a game for covering you and making it so you don't end up on the not top 10 the next morning.
That's Colby Cohen. He and John will have the second period in just a few short moments. We'll take another break here at the first intermission break. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey on 720 WGN.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/
the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
The independent agents that represent Indiana Farmers Insurance know if you want to earn a farmer's business, you first have to earn their trust. Farmers have enough to worry about, so it's great to know that we have their backs, that we know what's important to their business, their family, and their life. They know we're in this together, and that's how work gets done. Visit IndianaFarmersInsurance.com to find the agent that's near you and right for you. That's IndianaFarmersInsurance.com.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Period 2. The second period is next. Here for a recap is Joe Brand.
Hawks are looking for their first win against the Minnesota Wild in this preseason after dropping both of the Prospect Showcase games and then losing on Thursday, but they're off to a pretty good start, a 2-1 lead. They didn't get too down on themselves after Ryan Hartman had scored. Henrik Borgstrom collected his second goal to tie things up, and then the Hawks took the lead thanks to Alex DeBrincat and Patrick Kane.
Here's DeBrincat in front with a pass. He scores! Lloyd Kane fed DeBrincat from the right wing corner in the Wild zone. DeBrincat was all by himself. There was nobody within 50 feet of him except for the goaltender Kakkonen, who he beat with a shot. It's 2-1 Hawks.
Patrick Kane and Seth Jones with assists on that goal. Seth Jones with 2 assists in this game already as the Hawks lead Minnesota 2-1, despite the Wild on top in shots on goal, 17-9. Don't forget, Alex DeBrincat had the third most goals in the NHL last year with 32. Let's send it back over to John and Colby, who have the second period for you from the United Center.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. We're looking at the ledger here in the score sheet. I want to pay particular attention to Jonathan Toews' face-off numbers. Here tonight, he's 2 for 5, which is a little uncharacteristic of Jonathan Toews, but I would think we can expect a pretty good recovery for the remainder of the hockey game. Coming into the game, he was 39 of 55 for 71%. And I think that's a pretty good sign, Colby, that a guy that took the entire year off last year because of a weird illness has regained an awful lot. If the face-off numbers are any indication.
Yeah, a lot of face-offs is timing, and his timing is coming back to him, and that's a great thing to see. You see him starting to feel like himself, John.
Well, they drop the puck at center ice, and Toews wins another one. He's now 3 for 6. Hawks control off the draw. There's a pass to Kurashev into the Wild zone. He got a shot away. It was blocked. Kurashev got it back to the right point. Murphy to Kurashev there. Top of the circle. Now to the right wing corner to Toews. He'll flip it behind the Wild net around to Murphy. Murphy at the left point now. Spins it down to Toews. Left wing circle. Sets up the high slot. Kubalik rolls in and fires. And Kakkonen is down with a butterfly save and holds the puck. We get a whistle stopping play. Face-off will be in the circle to Kakkonen's right.
Jonathan Toews using that patience with the puck over in the left face-off dot. Feeds one out to Kubalik. who comes right down Broadway between the hash marks. I might have jinxed him a little bit in the pregame when I said, when you give him the puck in that area, he's going to score more likely than not. So next one, we'll look for it.
Off the draw. Now, Kane is tripped. He looked like he cut ankle to foot with one of the Wild players and went down. He's a little slow to get up. Meantime, here the Wild attacking into the Hawk zone, back behind the net. Gaudreau had the puck and lost it. And DeHaan put it around up the left wing. DeBrincat will pass to Kane at center ice on the right wing side. He backhands it down to the right wing corner in the Wild zone, where Johnson finishes his check there on the Wild defenseman Dmitry Kulikov. Kulikov now to the puck at center ice on the left wing to Fiala over the Hawk line right wing side. Cuts back into the high slot. This is picked off by DeBrincat, who with a baseball swing tried to clear the zone. Gaudreau took it away left point to Fiala, left circle, and a wrist shot. A butterfly save is made by Marc-Andre Fleury. Faceoff will be in the circle of Fleury's right. 2-1 in favor of the Wild. We're going to get line changes for both teams. How about Tyler Johnson? I mean, not known to be a big body checker in his NHL career, but I said it the other night. He's got the speed to get to that check, and he seems to do it every time.
That's the key right there. He's a fast centerman who gets up and down the ice, so he has the ability with the right mentality to finish checks, to be hard to play against, and he's going to have to be on this line with Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat. It's a smaller line, but that doesn't mean they can't create havoc on the forecheck.
Here's McCabe off the draw near corner Hawk zone, lost the puck up the boards. Marcus Foligno, the brother of Nick and the son of Mike, in the left wing corner, put the puck behind the Hawk net, but Murphy will take it away. Pass head to center ice. Kirby Dach wheeling in over the Wild line down the left wing. He was working against Hartman. He went from backhand to forehand and got a shot away, but it was blocked. Hartman now the other way for the Wild. In over the Hawk line right wing. Slap the pass in front of the net. Foligno the left corner, fed it back to the right point. Picked off by Strome into the Wild zone right circle. Fed the left circle. Borgstrom tried to fire, and he shanked the shot to the end boards. But Borgstrom got it back to Strome. Strome in the left wing corner. Made a pass that deflects away, and the Wild will get it. Foligno to Hartman at center ice over the logo. A long dump in misses the Hawk net. Fleury got a piece of it with the stick. Here's Kurashev back the other way to center ice. And then he lost the handle on the puck back the other way. Nico Sturm. No relation to Marco Sturm. Nico Sturm into the Hawk zone to the left corner. Wipes one in toward the net. Deflected out of there by Fleury. Sturm took it back in the right wing corner. Sends the puck right point Spurgeon to the slot. Bjugstad turns and fires, and that's why. And then Spurgeon from near the right point will flip the puck in front of the Hawk net. And Mitchell in to clear it out to center ice. They're going to get a penalty here to Duhaime of the Wild. And now here's Taves, put the puck in front of the net. Kurashev whacks it just wide as Sturm touches in behind. The whistle blows. And the Hawks power play is going to get to work here. They're going up against the second best penalty kill in the league in the preseason.
65, 2 minutes cross-check.
But worth noting is that the Blackhawks are the only team to score on the power play against the Minnesota Wild.
How about Jonathan Taves' patience in the offensive zone? That's 2 shifts in a row where he holds onto the puck and brings bodies towards him, setting up one of his line mates for a good opportunity to score a goal. And you talk about a guy's timing, you talk about getting your game back. Those are great signs to see as we start heading towards the regular season, John.
Absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, Colby, the Wild 12 of 13 on the penalty kill for 92.3%, while the Blackhawks 3 for 19 on the power play. So we'll see what happens here. The Hawks get their first feeling good Sitco power play. And back in behind the Hawk net. Kane will settle the puck down and then carry it out. Kane to center ice over the logo. Hits DeBrincat on the fly over the Wild line down the right wing. Sent it back across left circle. Taves flips it back across. Here's Seth Jones, top of the right circle. To Kane along the right wing half boards. Spins it to the right corner to Taves. Winds it around to DeBrincat left point. Sent it right point to Kane. To Tyler Johnson now on the right wing circle. Back to Kane right point. Here's Kane carrying down to the right face-off dot. Tried to pass it down to Taves. Batted back to Kane, but then Kane moves it over to Jones in the high slot. To DeBrincat in the left circle. Trying to make a pass across the rink. This deflects to center ice off a Wild stick. And back to get it now at the Hawk line is Patrick Kane. The Hawks will restart. Kane passing ahead to Kubalik. Wild line deflects it to DeBrincat. He's in over the Wild line to the left wing half board. He put it to the boards intending to make that a pass, but Kevin Fiala picks off the puck for the Wild. skates to center ice, and then clears it down the boards in behind the Hawk net.
The Blackhawk first power play heading in for a change, and look out.
Bad communication on the part of Fleury and Kubalik. Kubalik sends Fiala into the end boards behind the Hawk net, and off the puck, the Hawks will get it back and dodge a bullet. Here's Mitchell. Circle to the right of Fleury. Bothered by Fiala, who made him lose the puck the other way. Gaudreau down the right wing, sends the puck in on goal. Blocker save made by Fleury. And in behind the net, Borgstrom will carry the puck out. 10 seconds on the power play. Hawks in their last rush. Borgstrom to Doc over the wild line, right wing. All he can do is pound it down the boards. This rolls around up the far side. Fiala's got it. Fiala back through center to the Hawk blue line. Bothered by Kurashev, lost it down the boards in behind the net as the Wild come to full strength.
The Wild doing a nice job disrupting plays.
Here's Doc into the Wild zone. Will wrist one in from the left circle. And a blocker save made by Kakkonen, I'm sorry. And in the right wing corner in the Wild zone, Jordan Greenway, who ran over Kirby Doc, will now carry the puck out. Greenway from Canton, New York, takes a hit right at the Hawk blue line from Carpenter. Murphy takes the puck, shot it ahead, misses Entwistle. Puck goes down and cleared to center ice by Spurgeon in front of the benches. McCabe slaps it back into the Wild zone. Spurgeon will snap it back across. Goligoski, Wild line left wing. And a pass ahead up the left wing for Greenway is tipped down ice and in behind the Hawk net. The Wild will make a line change.
You really want to see a good response here. The power play not working for the Blackhawks, getting outworked and not ever really getting an opportunity to set up, John. So now how will they respond?
Here's Murphy with the loose puck right point, backing up, he'll fire, and Kakkonen makes the save as he goes down on his knees and took that one off his chest. He lets the puck drop into his glove and he holds on. We get a whistle stopping play. Face-off will be in the Wild zone. The Hawks lead at 2-1 with 14-14 left in the second period.
And not sure enough is made out of momentum swings that can come from special teams. If your power play goes out, lays a bit of an egg, doesn't have any opportunities, well, that's a big momentum boost the other way. So how will you respond once you get back to 5-on-5? It's a growth opportunity for this Blackhawk team.
Here's DeHaan now, left point Wild zone. Hands it in the left circle. Stillman Hill snapping in on goal. And that may have hit Kakkonen in the mask. The Wild will counterattack, led by Kaprizov. 1 against 4 Hawks to center ice and over the Hawk line. Kaprizov put the puck down to the end boards where DeHaan rode him into the corner boards. Now Entwistle put the puck in behind the Hawk net. Stillman trying to free himself from the check of Kaprizov. Going to get another penalty here.
Zuccarello
mixing it up with Calvin DeHaan. And oh boy, DeHaan's helmet is stripped off the top of his head by Zuccarello. And then on this side, you've got Kulikov wrapped up with one of the Hawks. You got Merrill and Jujar Kara tugging on one another's sweaters. The linesmen will jump in and separate everybody. They'll sort it all out, issue the penalties, and we'll come back and tell you about it after this break. 2-1 Hawks with 13:37 left in period number 2. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Win your share of $1 million with the BetRivers Beat the Spread Challenge. When you bet on pro football games at BetRivers this season, you can win weekly and season-long prizes. Every time you beat the spread, you'll earn points and move your way up the leaderboard toward the top prizes. See official rules for details. Download the BetRivers app or go to BetRivers.com and start winning. Must be 21 and located in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
When you use exceptional tools, you get exceptional results, like Purdy's high-quality brushes and roller covers. They're designed with excellent paint pickup and even paint release, which helps you finish the job faster. Good thing, because your client just decided she wants her kitchen color to be soulful gray, not summer gray. Guess you better write that change order. Make it perfect. Make sure it's Purdy, the #1 brand preferred by pros. Get it at Lowe's.
Anna Duplantis, the lady who's working hard to enrich your life, weekdays 1 to 4.
The Chicago Blackhawks will be back on the power play with Matt Zuccarello getting the initial penalty before all bodies came together behind Marc-Andre Fleury in the Blackhawks defensive zone. And DeHaan also in the box waiting for a little clarity. And looks like Kirill Kaprizov, he's the one who's on the board right now, John. He's the one who they've written down 2 minutes for. So we'll get another look at this Blackhawks first unit. 4 forwards, Patrick Kane starting up at the deep slot, as you like to say.
High slot area,
slot.
yeah. Not quite to the deep slot.
He'll move out to it, though.
Yeah.
You got to cheat a little on the draw.
He backs up and puts his heels on the blue line. Now he's in the deep slot. Face-off circle to the right of Kakkonen, and Jonathan Toews is going to be tossed out of there. And I think this is a good sign that he's arguing with the linesman.
It's the little things, eh, John?
Yeah, Johnny's feeling it. That's a good thing. Eriksson Ek facing off with Tyler Johnson. The drop of the puck lays at the dot. And DeBrincat pries it out of there, but the Wild get it. And Marcus Foligno will slap past the puck off the left wing boards and down. Fleury handles it behind the Hawk net for Seth Jones. Jones carrying to the line, will drop it back into the Hawk end to Patrick Kane. He'll race with the puck through center. Put it in over the Wild line to Toews along the left boards. He sent the puck down beside the Wild net to Kane, to Toews left side boards. And now Jones walking the blue line at the deep slot. He'll turn and feed it over to Kane. He'll carry through the high slot area. Saucer pass to the left circle now to DeBrincat. Backing up toward the left point, he'll reverse directions, carry down to the corner, put it behind the Wild net. Toews takes the puck there to Kane, right circle, right corner. Then to the right circle, Johnson. To the line deep slot to Jones. To Kane, right circle, to Toews beside the net. And Toews is ridden into the boards with a check from Kulikov. Puck taken away by Eriksson Ek, and he'll clear it up the left wing side and down. And now this eludes Fleury behind the Hawk net, rolls up the far side. DeBrincat there to get it, put the puck behind the Hawk net. Seth Jones will carry out. 48 seconds on the Hawks' second Feeling Good Sitco power play. Here's DeBrincat into the Wild zone left circle. Lost control of the puck. Jordy Ben spins it away, but not out. And now Jones turned it over at the line. Gaudreau breaking away shorthanded over the Hawk line down the slot. Diggs and could not get a shot away cleanly. A slashing call will be made here to Seth Jones, who came ever so close to drawing a penalty shot with that infraction.
Seth Jones trying to keep the puck alive.
2 minutes slashing.
Ends up banking one off the shin pads of Freddie Gaudreau, and he's chasing him down. I was watching this one pretty closely as Jones chased him down, and it looks like they gave him a slash. Yeah, right on the hands as they're showing us the replay here at the United Center. That was the right call. It's a good job by the officials to stay in on it and wait for the opportunity. So the Blackhawks will skate 4 aside for the next 29 seconds.
Draw one by the Wild. At the right point now, the puck taken by Spurgeon. Spins it into the right wing corner. Ryan Hardman, who carries behind the net, fights off a check, flipped it around to the left point to Goligoski. And he backhands the puck out of the Hawk zone down into the Wild end as the Wild will regroup. 4 against 4, as Colby told you. Greenway into the Hawk zone to the high slot. Drops it down behind the net. Goligoski there to get it. Carrying up the far boards. Drops it behind himself. Picked off by Kirby Dach. Quick pass ahead on the left wing. Here's Kurashev. Crossing the Wild line. Drop pass. Stillman moving down. Gave it to Kurashev back in the net. Kurashev right circle. Fed it over. Left circle. A shot. They score! It's Ryan Carpenter. A perfect pass by Kurashev across to Carpenter, who snapped it in behind Kakkonen, and for Carpenter, that's his second goal on the season. Hawks now take a 3-1 lead with 11:26 left in period number 2. Mike Kurashev has great vision of the ice.
Yeah, speed and puck movement, the key to this play. And Philip Kurashev, who's a left-handed shot, comes wheeling around the net from the right side to the left, drawing a couple of forecheckers his way and sliding the puck right through the crease. Hits Ryan Carpenter right at the top of the face-off circle on the left side, who one-times the puck right along the ice, maybe a couple of inches off the ice, and beats Kakkonen to the far side, and the Blackhawks extend that lead to 3-1, and they are now shorthanded for the next minute and 10 seconds.
So Carpenter from Kurashev at 8:34 of period number 2. 3-1 Hawks. The Wild, as Colby mentioned, on their power play. And we get a whistle as the Wild come across the line offside on the near side of the ice. So the faceoff will come to center ice. By the way, the Blackhawks, we were giving power play and penalty killing numbers a little while ago. The Blackhawks in the preseason will be glad to see this end because they're in 32nd place, which is last in the National Hockey League in preseason penalty kill. They killed at 8 of 14. I know Jeremy Colleton and the coaching staff will work hard at improving that going forward. The draw ends up from the Hawk line back into the Wild zone. Spurgeon's got it. Wheeling ahead to center ice, leaves it for Kaprizov. He'll wheel in over the Hawk line, dropping the puck at the right point. Pitlick took it there, but coughed up the puck. And McCabe will spin it out to center ice. At the Wild blue line, Spurgeon hands it off to Kaprizov. Actually, Fiala now, who got a little careless with the puck. Taves deflects it back down ice and in behind the Wild net where the Wild will start up. 35 seconds on their power play. Kaprizov through center. Got it to Eriksson Ek in over the Hawk line, left wing side. Murphy put a body into him there against the boards as the puck tumbles behind the net. DeBrincat will take it, fire it around the boards and down. Here's Kirby Dach stealing the puck behind the Wild net. Try to wrap around. Turned out of there by Kakkonen. Dach got it back. He'll flip the puck back into the Hawk zone. Calvin DeHaan back to get it, taking his time along the left side boards. Sweeping it over now to Stillman along the right side boards. Clears it to center ice as the penalty will expire. Hawks come back to full strength. Seth Jones out of the box. Here's DeHaan back in the net. Put the puck over to the far corner. Duhaime took it there. Sent it out to the right point. Snapshot by Dumba. Blocked at the defense. Jujhar Khaira to center ice for the Hawks. Will backhand the puck down off the left corner boards in the Wild end. And the Hawks will complete their line change. Here's Nico Sturm to the Hawk blue line. Left wing side. Stripped for the puck by Dylan Strome, who pokes it away now down to the far corner. Riley Stillman there will lift it through the air. This will bounce down ice inside the Wild zone against the far boards. Dumba leaves the puck there for Sturm, and then Greenway came along and pokes it down behind the Wild net. And skates in to get it, and then coughed it up at the line to Strome, to Kane right circle, to Borgstrom. He'll fire from the left circle, and Kakkonen is down with a butterfly save and holds the puck. 9:21 left in the second period. It's the Hawks 3 and the Wild 1. Right back after this, you're listening to Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Chicago News on WGN. Current, local, agenda-free.
With Prime, get light bulbs delivered in a day. Edison would be proud.
Indeed, I'm proud.
Get your everyday essentials delivered fast. Prime changes everything. You might know MD Wise is a provider of health insurance, and we are, but we feel called to do way more than that. Like arranging free rides for those who don't have another way to get to the doctor, the dentist, or the drugstore. We also know healthy food is important, so we arrange free rides to the grocery and farmer's market too. These are just a few of our extra services, because caring for Hoosiers beyond insurance could be the wisest thing we do. mdwise.org/more.
Roxanne Watson is on a mission to have more people sign up as organ, eye, and tissue donors. What drives her? Roxanne received a heart transplant made possible by an organ donor.
I decided that day to devote myself to signing up the most people in the United States. That's my goal.
Now she's a powerful force for good. What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
John Weideman and Colby Cohen here at the United Center. Joe Brand standing by in Blackhawks Central. And at this moment, as we return to the airwaves, they are recognizing some members of our military. Courageous, dedicated people they are. And it's just great to see this United Center crowd all standing and applauding these people who so generously give of their time and sometimes of their blood. And their dedication certainly is not without notice by this crowd. So wonderful to see. Great moment. Inside the Hawk zone, Seth Jones passing up the left wing side to Borgstrom. Tried to hand the puck off to Dylan Strome coming by. Puck deflects down into the Wild zone. The Wild will take it back now. Hartman sent it ahead. This deflects to center ice. Seth Jones now avoiding Marcus Foligno back in the Hawk zone. Sent it over along the left boards to DeHaan. A slap pass across the rink to Kane. Moves it ahead to Strome over the Wild line on the left wing. He sent the puck down beside the net. picked off, though, by the Wild's defenseman, Dmitry Kulikov. Moves it ahead, Hartman over the Hawk line to the right wing corner. Tried to center the puck, ends up behind the net. Seth Jones is able to fish it out there and give the puck now to DeHaan in the corner. He bats it behind the net. Here's Jones in the near circle, Hawk in. Being chased by Eric Sinek. Here's Seth Jones wheeling free and backhanding the puck up the left wing to center ice. Kurashev took the deflection and then just sort of tapped it through the open door at the Hawks bench as the Hawks were completing a line change. We get a whistle. 8:16 left in the second. 3-1 Hawks.
Have to like the start of this period, and we're almost we're above halfway through point of this hockey game in Chicago, where things weren't going so well in the first period. Has really tilted the ice, gotten back to that relentless style that Jeremy Colleton wants to see, getting in on the forecheck, forcing Minnesota to go 200 feet, and it's worked in their favor as they hold the 3-1 lead right now, John.
Now Goligoski from center ice dumps the puck in on his one-time teammate in Pittsburgh, Marc-Andre Fleury, who batted it away. The Hawks come back up ice into the Wild zone. Kubalik in the far circle. Tried to center the puck, picked off by Zuccarello. He wheels behind the Wild net. Put a pass up the right wing side, then across to the near side it goes. Spurgeon, who sent the puck ahead to center ice. Kubalik bats it back into the Wild zone, and the Wild will regroup. Goligoski with a headman pass misses everybody at center ice. Taken by Murphy. Sent it back into the Hawk zone. Jake McCabe ahead to Jujhar Khaira, crossing the Wild line. High slot area, given a spin by Zuccarello. Lost the puck. Here's Mackenzie Entwistle to the right wing corner, Wild end. Wristing the puck behind the net and up the left wing side. And Ian Mitchell will backhand it back down into the Wild zone. Goligoski then takes the puck and misses on a headman pass. This slides all the way down for icing against the Wild. 3-1 Hawks.
Another shift for the fourth line. Entwistle, Khaira, and Carpenter in the offensive zone, forcing an icing by the Minnesota Wild. So now you'll see Patrick Kane's line jump out on the ice and get to start with an offensive zone draw. John, that's a little thing that goes a very long way over the course of an 82-game season. When your fourth line is able to possess the puck in the offensive zone and get these offensive zone draws for your top lines with Kane and with Taves.
Especially in a close game where guys are getting worn out. You're absolutely right. Here's Kane with a puck in the Wild zone right point, moving into the high slot, puts it toward the net, and it hit a body in front. Tyler Johnson was creating a screen. Loose puck to the near boards. Kaprizov has it to take some pressure off the Wild zone. He clears it all the way down, and once again we get the whistle for icing. Now 6:46 on the clock. Draw coming back in the Wild zone in the circle to the left of Kakinen.
A little bit of communication going on between DeBrincat, Kane, and Johnson, talking about how they want to execute this offensive zone draw.
And it's going to be Tyler Johnson. Now Johnson's been tossed out of there.
Looks like it doesn't matter what they gamed up, because now DeBrincat's taking the draw.
And the Cat wins the draw to Kane near the line to Mitchell right point to DeBrincat high slot. Shanked a one-timer down to the left wing corner. Spurgeon's got it. Pulls out the 9-iron, lifts the puck out to center ice. Taken back by Mitchell to Kane. Wild line, right wing. He'll deflect it down behind the net. Goligoski sent it around up the right side to Spurgeon. Just slapped the puck across the rink into the Hawk zone. Mitchell with a quick clear to Kane at center ice to DeBrincat over the Wild line. Top of the right circle. Put it over left wing circle. Stillman walking it to the net. Jams a backhander toward the net. It was blocked. The other way come the Wild. Here's Fiala left wing to center ice to the Hawk line, where he'll dump it down the boards in behind the net. Borgstrom rides his man off the puck. That's Pitlick. And on the far side of the rink, Seth Jones with that long reach took the puck away, carries to center ice, and backhands it down behind the Wild net. Jordy been in to get it. Sent it around to Rem Pitlick, who, by the way, his draft rights were traded 5 times. We're going to get a whistle as Pitlick ices the puck. Rem Pitlick, before he was drafted, Colby, his pick was traded 5 times. I think that's an NHL record.
Yeah, it has to be an NHL record. You can't even call him a suitcase at that point, though, because you said it was before he played, right? His rights were traded, so we can't call him a suitcase because he wasn't moving around all too often, but that's a funny one. I'm glad you picked up on that, and I'm sure his teammates like to give him a hard time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if just one NHL team knew that they were getting a guy that would eventually make the NHL, you know. Rem Pitlick is the son of Lance, who is a Minnesota native who played in the NHL for the Ottawa Senators. Had a decent career. So if that name is familiar, that's why. Deep inside the wild zone of the right wing corner, Dylan Strome passing out to Seth Jones, and from the top of the right circle, snaps a shot over the net. Nico Sturm takes the puck back for Minnesota to center ice. Flipping it ahead for Nick Bjugstad into the Hawk zone, deep to the corner, left wing side. Bjugstad back up the board, sets up the high slot for Duhaime, who tried to snap one toward the net. That deflected wide. Here's Dylan Strome, has the puck against the near boards. Hawk in, takes a moment, moves it out to Kirby Dach. Hawk line left wing side, then back across to Strome. He's over the wild line on the right wing side and dumps the puck down behind the net. John Merrill dug it out. Hands it ahead to Duhaime, who's flattened by Jujhar Khaira right at the Minnesota blue line. Wild retained possession of the puck. Merrill sweeping it ahead now. Kulikov sends it to center ice, taken away by the Hawks. Khaira racing down the left wing side. Oh, a sharp angle shot is gobbled up by Kakkonen. He'll hold on and the whistle stops play. We have 4:32 left in the second. It's the Hawks 3 and the Wild 1. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Geico presents Monster Counseling.
Dracula, tell me how you're feeling.
No one understands how lonely it is. No one will even let me into their house. I knock and I knock, but they ignore me.
Uh-huh. What else?
I look in the mirror and I don't even see myself anymore.
If you don't see yourself clearly, can you really expect others to?
I'm having a breakthrough.
It's not easy to be a vampire, but with Geico, it's super easy to switch and save hundreds on your car insurance.
Smart homeowners know that proper maintenance of their home's AC can save a bundle in the long run. Trust our comfort specialists at 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating to keep your AC running strong. A proactive tune-up can actually help your AC run more efficiently and save you money on your electric bill. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time, or you don't pay it time. Always on time, or you don't pay it time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
The independent agents that represent Indiana Farmers Insurance know if you want to earn a farmer's business, you first have to earn their trust. Farmers have enough to worry about, so it's great to know that we have their backs, that we know what's important to their business, their family, and their life. They know we're in this together, and that's how work gets done. Visit IndianaFarmersInsurance.com to find the agent that's near you and right for you. That's IndianaFarmersInsurance.com.
The Blackhawks, Wildcats, and the NFL play here on AM 720. On smart speakers, say play WGN Chicago.
WGN.
Welcome back into the United Center as Jonathan Toews steps in to take another offensive zone draw. The Blackhawks have controlled play for the last 8 or 9 minutes, John, holding a 3-1 lead, and I like their opportunity and their chance to extend this as we get closer towards the end of the second period.
Yep, as do I. Draw to the right of Kakkonen. Toews wins it to Kubalik along the left boards. Put the puck to the left point. McCabe tried to flip it in deep. It deflects to the line, and Kubalik right there slaps it over to the right wing corner in the wild zone. Kurashev racing in to get it. Here's Kurashev being headlocked off the puck by Ryan Hartman. You get the whistle, and holding will be the call, and the Hawks will go to another feeling good Citgo power play. This will be their third.
A chance for the Blackhawks to right the ship on the power play.
Minnesota penalty number 38, 2 minutes holding.
The first couple did not go their way. They weren't able to set up. They weren't able to get possession. They ended up 4-on-4 at one point for taking a penalty. So here's another opportunity. Same personnel. That first power play. Toews, Johnson to Brinkett. Kane playing that point with Seth Jones. Here's another opportunity.
Toews wins another draw to Kane. Now at the line deep slot to Jones. Left point. Down to DeBrincat, left half boards. Back to Jones. To DeBrincat, top of the left wing circle. Here's DeBrincat now. Putting it in behind the wild net. Toews out to DeBrincat, top of the left wing circle. He'll cross the high slot. Give it to Kane beside the right circle against the boards. Down to Toews. Fed it up the slot. Here's a shot now from Jones from the left circle. And Kakkonen got down in the butterfly position and makes that save with his equipment. Then plops on the loose puck in the crease. Boy, we saw some great puck movement right there.
All starts with winning that face-off on the power play, and all 5 members of the Blackhawks touching the puck, getting it down low to Jonathan Toews seems to be the play that they're looking for, and Seth Jones had a great chance on the bottom of the left face-off circle, but Kakkonen made the save.
Well, Toews wins another draw, but the linesman who dropped the puck blows the play dead. And he and Jonathan Toews are having a little bit of a running dialogue here. And Toews has been tossed out of the face-off circle. It's going to be Tyler Johnson in to take the draw against Nico Sturm. Hawks control. Jones at the line in the deep slot to DeBrincat, top of the left circle. Flips it over to Kane in the right circle, and the puck hit his stick blade and toppled up and over the glass.
Yeah, you don't see it very often when the puck hits Patrick Kane's stick and ends up a couple rows deep. A nice souvenir for one of the fans, but I've much liked the power play and the way it's looked through the first 30 seconds here on this one, John.
Draw comes back to Jones' right point, moves it top of the left circle to DeBrincat. To Jones in the high slot, to Kane right face-off dot. Fed it through DeBrincat, he shoots! Oh, that looked like it hit the inside of the net, they score! DeBrincat's shot from the left circle, it looked like it hit the inside post and ricocheted out, but Toews was right there on the doorstep to clean up the rebound. It's a power play goal, and the Hawks now lead 4-1.
Winning face-offs, moving bodies, and moving pucks. That is the sign of a good power play, and that is exactly what we just witnessed. Patrick Kane getting one through the box from the left circle right across to Alex DeBrincat, who's hanging out on the bottom of the right circle, and it's the quick snapper that goes off the crossbar and back to DeBrincat, and he alley-oops the puck in front of the net to Jonathan Toews, who bangs in a goal. And boy, it's good to see that. And here we go. That goal by Jonathan Toews, assisted by Patrick Kane, sponsored by ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check out Chevy's shop, click and drive. Shop 24/7 at ChevyDriveChicago.com as another icing for the Minnesota Wild ensues. But they sure made up for the sloppy first couple of power plays in this game on that one, because, boy, it looked pretty, John.
Well, I tell you, Colby, you got some great eyes, because I was not able to see what you described, and you described it to a T. DeBrincat, the alley-oop pass, I love that. And there was Toews in perfect position to body that puck into the net.
There was some good basketball here last night. The Chicago Bulls were in the house, so we throw a little alley-oop reference into the broadcast.
Why not? The alley-oop that the UCLA Bruins made famous back in the day when John Wooden was their head coach, the Wizard of Westwood. Here are the Wild attacking. That was before your time, my friend.
I don't know that reference, so you're not wrong. You got me by a couple of years.
Kaprizov now along the right boards, Hawk zone, spins it back to Kulikov, right point. He sends it across the rink to the near corner. Carpenter tried to fire it out of the zone, kept in by the Wild. Kulikov let go a screaming eagle wrist shot that missed the Hawk net. Puck banks up to Entwistle. He'll turn and clear it down ice into the Wild zone. And Dmitry Kulikov settles it down back of the Wild net. To John Merrill, right wing side. And listen to the ovation for Jonathan Toews. Does this crowd love their captain or what? Now breaking into the Hawk zone. Zuccarello, left corner, fed Kaprizov, left circle, who fires. That's blocked. The other way races Strome on a 3-on-2 rush. Over the Wild line, left wing to Doc, right circle, closes in with a backhand. Kicked out of there by Kakkonen. Zuccarello took the puck behind the Wild net into the far corner, coughed it up to the checking of Strome and Borgstrom. Here's Strome behind the net, battling with Spurgeon. Doc reaching in, scrapes it out of there. Borgstrom in the left corner, put it on goal from there, and knocked out of there by Kakkonen with the pads. Puck taken away by Gaudreau. The Wild, he'll clear it off the boards deep into the Hawk zone. The teams are in line change.
Henrik Borgstrom is feeling it for the Blackhawks tonight. He scored a goal. He's almost scored a couple of others, creating, had a nice block earlier on his last shift. Really playing complete hockey, but we're seeing the evolution, and now we're finally starting to see a little bit of offense out of the big Finnish winger.
Now a pass from DeBrincat back to the left point for DeHaan. Skips off his stick. Marc-Andre Fleury way out of his net. Tried to do a flying body block on Kevin Fiala to knock the puck free, and then Fleury recovers back to his net, runs into it, knocks it off of its moorings as the puck is shot into the Hawk net by Pitlick, but this is going to be a penalty against the Hawks. Let's pick up the referee's call.
Penalty number 29, 2 minutes delay of game.
There it is.
Marc-Andre Fleury came flying out of the net on the left side, a 50-50 puck. He missed the puck, and on his recovery, with a couple of his teammates covering up right on the crease, he slid back to the right post. Now, when he did that, he knocked the net off. The referees have a discretion there. They can say it was intentional. If they decide that's intentional, they'll call that delay of game. Now, he kind of bumped into Alex DeBrincat. He's He's a veteran player. I'd like to think he knew what he was doing. He just wanted to give the penalty kill players a couple of opportunities here to work on the PK.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had enough power play practice. Let's get a couple penalties that we need to kill.
Jonathan Toews will step in to take the face-off, and it's a big one with 1:30 left in this second frame.
Tyler Johnson serving the penalty in the Hawks penalty box. A draw won by the Wild. Kaprizov firing from the high slot. Just missed the left post. Fiala takes the puck back at the left point, tried to spin it to the right point, but that pass slips over the blue line to center ice. And Spurgeon will take it back into the Wild zone between the circles and start from there. Spurgeon passing to Fiala, Hawk line left wing. He sends it down the boards in behind the net. And now Fiala falls awkwardly behind the Hawk net under Murphy. Wild get the puck back. Spurgeon walking the line to the deep slot to Zuccarello, left circle. Sent it across, taken by Kaprizov against the right boards. Carpenter stepped into him and fell down. And the loose puck over there taken by Kaprizov. He put it into the high slot area. Murphy tried to slap it away. Spurgeon took it away. Spurgeon fed it in front, taken away by Jake McCabe to Ryan Carpenter. Got some room in the far corner, and he'll snap it behind the Hawk net, around the boards, and down into the Wild end.
Just excellent work by Ryan Carpenter and Jujhar Khaira, creating turnovers up at the blue line and giving the Blackhawks free clears as Kirby Dach turns it up the other way.
And he's shorthanded over the Wild line down the right wing. Oh, he tried to center the puck, and he was knocked to the ice by Goligoski and fell under Goligoski on a body check. Both are back on their feet and okay. 12 seconds left in the period. Gaudreau along the left boards, Hawk zone. Leaves it for Dumba to the right circle. A drive by Hartman, and Fleury is over there to stop it with the pads and hold on. Gloves the puck to the ice. Face-off will be in the circle. It was left with just under 7 seconds left in the period. 4-1 Hawks.
Jonathan Toews jumps over the boards with 6.8 seconds left, as you said, John, and he'll take this face-off, looking to get it back into the corner and try to kill off the remaining couple of seconds of this period and this power play.
Absolutely. Now the draw. Circle to the left of Fleury. And Toews slings it to the corner. Stillman is there. He's just going to pin it against the dasher and milk the clock, and he does. He falls down for his efforts, but mission accomplished as he is able to kill the rest of the time. Second period ends, and the Hawks will take a 4-1 lead into the dressing rooms after 40 minutes. The shots on goal dead even at 21 apiece. So after spotting the Wild that 1-0 lead earlier in the game, Colby, it's been all Blackhawks, 4 unanswered goals. Borgstrom and DeBrincat in the first period, Carpenter and Toews in the second. They're in control.
That stretch in the second period from about the 15-minute mark was some of the best hockey that the Chicago Blackhawks have played. They were in sync. Guys were moving, a lot of energy. The third and the fourth line for the Chicago Blackhawks spent a majority of their time in the offensive zone, getting opportunities for the top group to have these in-zone face-offs starting in the offensive zone. And I talked about it last period, but that goes a long way over a long season. When your third and your fourth line are giving the first line, the second line, Kane and Toews, opportunities to constantly start in the offensive zone, that's going to result in another 10, 15 points for each of those players throughout a long season.
In this game, Colby, I think you'll agree with me, we're seeing everybody make some kind of a contribution.
Right up and down the lineup. If you ask me right now who's been the most noticeable, it would be hard for me to come up with one person. We talked a lot about Henrik Borgstrom, how the offense in his game has started to talk, but Mackenzie Entwistle's another guy. He's a guy looking to make this hockey team. He has been nothing short of phenomenal in every game he's played.
On the subject of Mackenzie Entwistle, let's go down and talk to that young man. He's our guest in the intermission. You hear the crowd roaring in the background, Mackenzie. They want to hear you talk as well. Thanks for taking time to be with us here in the intermission. And your camp has been noticeable, dude. I think everybody around has been saying, how about that kid, Mackenzie Entwistle? Were you expecting this out of yourself for this training camp?
Well, you know what? I think, I've been fortunate enough to play with a lot of guys that have complimented my game, and Khaira and Carpenter and the other games, Hagel. I just play in a simple game, and I just wanted to prove that I could play in the NHL and try to push for a spot, and I think I've done that. So, just got to keep it going and have a good third here.
Mac, we had Ryan Carpenter on after the first period, and I asked him about playing with you. He was glowing. It was the best answer we got out of him when he started talking about just how good you've been in training camp. When you start to evaluate tonight, you start to evaluate the other games. It seems like every line you're on has a lot going. How does that make you feel as a 22-year-old who's vying to make the team for the first time out of training camp?
Yeah, it feels great. Obviously, you want to be able to play with anyone up and down the lineup, so that's always nice. But for me, just every game, treat it like your last one. And I know there's guys, there's 5 or 6 guys that are fighting for that same spot that I'm fighting for. So every night's got to be your best game, and I know that. So playing with those guys that have really complimented me, and they're easy to play with. So like I said, just got to have a good third and got to get a win here.
Mackenzie, we're going to let you go a little bit early, and what do you say we talk again during the season, man? Because I got a hunch you're going to be on that charter on the way to Denver.
I'd love to. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Thank you, Mackenzie. We appreciate your time here in the intermission. Mackenzie Entwistle was our guest. 4-1 Hawks after 2 periods here at the United Center. We're going to step out and take a break, but when we return to the airwaves, Joe Brand is going to have a full intermission report from Blackhawks Central. Then third period action will follow along. It's going the Hawks' way so far. They lead 4-1 over the Wild after 2 frames here at the United Center. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Sam was only 10 when he was diagnosed with a chronic neurological disorder. Without treatment, 1 in 3 people with his disorder need a wheelchair. But thanks to plasma protein therapy, Sam can play in the school marching band. Your plasma donation can help someone like Sam defy the odds of their disease. Visit givingplasma.org to learn more.
Got spuds on the brain? Clubs? Salads? Don't just think about our food, enjoy it. With ordering options as varied as our menu, enjoying McAllister's favorites is easier than ever. From ordering online or in our app to delivery, curbside, pickup window, and tableside, you're always one step closer to enjoying fresh favorites. And that's good, because with your kids making a ruckus in the back seat, you'll want our help to settle their hungry bellies. Order today at McAllistersDeli.com or on our app.
You hear that? That's Core Stethoscope technology by Echo, removing background noise so you can focus on the sounds that matter. Learn more about Echo at echohealth.com.
Come into Bell Tire today. You'll get the lowest tire price, period. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. You'll also get a guy who will give you free lifetime flat repairs, tire rotations, and alignment checks. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. Plus more free services and more out of your tires and more for your money. It's how we make the lowest tire price feel even lower at Bell Tire. See store and belltire.com for details and offer expiration.
There's Pablo in his natural habitat, opening his internet bill in fear. No! He just saw his 12-month promotional price ended. Uh-oh, and he just discovered the equipment fees. Back away slowly.
If your internet bill drives you wild, just remember, you're not a bad person. You just need a straightforward price. Get AT&T Fiber. Unlimited internet with no price increase at 12 months. Visit att.com/no hidden fees. Limited availability in select areas.
It's time for an intermission update. Here's Joe Brand.
All Blackhawks in the second period. Not only do they have a 4-1 lead now after 2 over the Minnesota Wild, they also outshot the Wild 12-4 in that second stanza as they're trying to pick up their first preseason win against Minnesota in the preseason finale as everything wraps up tonight. Regular season starting on Wednesday. Hey, fans, don't forget to tune in to the Bitcoin of America Chicago Blackhawks post-game show after the third period for player and coach interviews, fan reaction, and game analysis, all right here on 720 WGN. Let's take a look around the NHL. The San Jose Sharks now leading the Golden Knights 4-0 over in San Jose. Final few minutes left in that contest. The Oilers lead the Canucks 3-0. They're on the road over in Vancouver. 9:30 left in the second period. Also later on tonight, the Anaheim Ducks visit the LA Kings. Some finals around the hockey world right now. The Sabres beat the Red Wings 3-1. Former Blackhawk Vinny Hinostroza with a goal in that game. Predators over the Hurricanes 4-3 in Nashville. The Florida Panthers fall to the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-2. Also, the Panthers earlier today signed an 8-year contract extension with Alexander Barkov. The Stars fall to the Avalanche 4-2. Again, Nate McKinnon with a couple of goals in that one. Colorado will be the Hawks' next opponent next week to kick off the regular season. The Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Ottawa Senators 4-1. Pittsburgh Penguins win in overtime over the Blue Jackets 4-3. Sidney Crosby not playing in that game, but he did skate with his team for the first time since going through wrist surgery in early September. He's supposed to be out 6 weeks. That'll keep him out for the first week of the regular season. And the Rangers take down the Islanders 5-4 in overtime. Islanders hosted that game. To the MLB playoffs, the Dodgers now leading the Giants 2-1. They're through 3 innings over in San Francisco. L.A. trying to even up that series at 1 game apiece. The Braves shut out the Brewers today in Milwaukee 3-0, so they even up that series 1 game apiece before the series shifts over to Atlanta on Monday. And again, the White Sox will host Houston tomorrow for Game 3 of the ALDS. They're trying to find their first win of that series. Also, the Chicago Sky will kick off the NBA Finals against the Phoenix Mercury starting tomorrow. College football, Michigan leads Nebraska 13-7. Actually, that's an update on the score now, 19-13 in favor of the Wolverines. 1:24 left in the third quarter. Iowa beat Penn State 23-20. Illinois gets shut out by Wisconsin 24-0. And also around the college football world, Virginia Tech leading number 14 Notre Dame 22-21. How about Texas A&M? A 24-10 lead over the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide. We've got plenty to break down in the second period. We'll get to it next. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey here on 720 WGN.
It's Steve Bertrand. Catch me weekdays at 4 o'clock on Chicago's Afternoon News.
That's for you. Answer the call from patients who need plasma. Donations are down, so give plasma at a Grifols Center and receive compensation. Visit grifolsplasma.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is reconnecting neighborhoods by growing community gardens and farms through the Love Tito's Block to Block program. By teaming up with Love Tito's, Growing Places Indy is able to replace and rebuild raised garden beds at its main farm site. To lend a hand and become a volunteer, visit growingplacesindy.org/volunteer. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume.
Arby's Chicken Cheddar Ranch sandwiches are 2 for $6 every day of the week. For some people, just hearing the words ranch and chicken are enough to make them want 2 of them for $6. Well, okay then. Ranch, 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 creamy ranch, cool ranch, ranch. Chicken, chicken. 2 for $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
BMO Harris is where you are with banking tools you need where you need them, like fast Zelle transfers.
Who had the 3-cheese omelet? Mine was 5 cheese. Okay, then you owe $11.72. I also had a side of bacon. So then make that $15.39. I have a mimosa on the way. Okay.
With BMO Harris, you can split bills easily using Zelle once you finally figure out who owes what. When your bank is where you are. That's the BMO effect.
Now a 4-1 lead for the Blackhawks over at the United Center as they are trying to wrap up their preseason with a victory over the Minnesota Wild, trying to improve to 3-1-2 in the preseason. I'm Joe Brand, as we're going to bring back in Colby Cohen here on the broadcast, as it was a very impressive second period, pretty much overall, Colby, and I think the biggest thing is, yes, the Blackhawks are capable of doing this, of having this turnaround, but it kind of seemed like they were able to do it just on a switch, and I think that's very promising for Hawks fans.
And you look at the way that they did it, Joe, it was multifaceted. There was a power play goal. At one point, we're looking at 4-on-4 hockey. Carpenter scores that goal. So you're looking at all these different situations, special teams, 4-on-4, down a man. They killed the first minute and 30 seconds off of a penalty at the end of the period and looked very good doing it. 5-on-5, they were getting in on the forecheck. They were creating a lot of turnover. So what you're seeing is the main group is executing all of the little things that the Blackhawks have talked about over the last 2.5, 3 weeks, whether it's captain's practice into training camp, into the early preseason, and now we're just one period of hockey away from the regular season starting.
And it's kind of funny because when this game started, again, maybe the Hawks not off to the best start. This is the last day of the preseason, so we can still be in this mode of pulling out positives even though things aren't looking so great. That's the last day we could do it. But the positive I was going to pull out was the line depth, something you mentioned a lot in the broadcast. But that line depth, that strong effort from the third and fourth line, that's kind of been a common theme throughout the preseason, and that's got to be something that a lot of teams strive for in training camp.
When your fourth line and your third line is spending a majority of the time in the offensive zone, that puts your top-end players in such a better opportunity and a better position to produce offensively. So that line depth that you're talking about was on more display in this game probably than we've seen. Now, we have to mention the fact that Brandon Hagel isn't playing tonight. They gave him the night off. Not because he's not going to play against Colorado or not make the team. I'd say he's going to play against Colorado, and he'll probably find his way somewhere on to that third or fourth line. And you think about how good those lines have been without him tonight. Imagine when you add a guy like Hagel back into the mix.
That's a really good point. Hey, were you at the Bulls game? Is that where that alley-oop reference came from? Was that fresh in your mind?
I was not at the Bulls game, but I knew they were here because there was a weird monitor that was set up here that wasn't for us, and someone said to me, oh, it must have been from the Bulls yesterday. So, thinking basketball, hey, this is, Michael Jordan's house as well. I'm not from Chicago, but you don't have to be from here to know that. So it was a good time to break out the reference because it was an alley-oop.
Hey, I love the cross-reference. I love involving other sports. That's what it's all about. That's Colby Cohen. He and John Weideman will have the final 20 minutes. We'll send it over to them in just a few short moments. One more break here in the second intermission break. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey on 720 WGN.
Most people don't think about their car battery until their car doesn't start. But if you think about it now and get a free battery test at Advance Auto Parts, you can avoid all that pain. And if you do need a new battery, DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery, is right there. DieHard is reliable, durable, and powerful. So, good thinking. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
That's for you. Answer the call from patients who need plasma. Donations are down, so give plasma at a Grifols center and receive compensation. Visit grifolsplasma.com.
Bundling home and car insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? They may drop little hints like,
beautiful day out. Even more beautiful since we saved by bundling our home and car insurance with Geico.
Or,
yard work is hard. Much harder than bundling with Geico, which was easy.
Or it may be even subtler, like,
speaking of burgers, we bundled our home and car insurance with Geico and saved a bunch of money.
Bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
And now it's Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road. Before you ride, make sure your mirrors are clean and adjusted properly. And if you're going on a group ride, make sure the lead biker knows where they're going.
Ed, quick question. Where are you taking us?
Oh, I have no idea. Well, am I the leader? Because I was following that dude with the red helmet. Where is he?
And the rule to saving on motorcycle insurance is, in 15 minutes, Geico could save you 15% or more.
Every enterprise needs a reliable, high-performing network that can scale as needs change. That's why Everstream is expanding our business-only fiber network in the area. Our Ethernet, dedicated internet access, and dark fiber services deliver capacity up to 100 gigs. With class-leading low latency, no-charge bandwidth bursting, and direct peering to the cloud apps you use most. Don't settle for the telecom status quo. Choose a partner that's raising the bar for business connectivity. Visit everstream.net today.
Period 3. The third period is next. Here for a recap is Joe Brand.
20 minutes left of the preseason left for these Chicago Blackhawks. Hey, don't forget, after the third period, it'll be the Bitcoin of America Chicago Blackhawks post-game show for player and coach interviews, fan reaction, and game analysis. Be sure to stay tuned for that. So the Hawks had a 2-1 lead after the first period, and then into the second period, they found themselves on a penalty kill, but they were able to turn some good out of that.
crossing the wild line, drop pass, Stillman moving down, gave it to Kurashev, back in the net. Kurashev, right circle, fed it over, left circle, a shot, they score! It's Ryan Carpenter! A perfect pass by Kurashev across to Carpenter, who snapped it in behind Kakkonen, and for Carpenter, that's his second goal on the season. Hawks now take a 3-1 lead with 11:26 left in period number 2.
Really nice play by Philip Kurashev coming around the net, finding Carpenter. Hawks had a minute 17 of that penalty still to kill. They did it, and then later on with a man advantage, they were able to do something fancy.
To Brinkett, to Jones in the high slot, to Kane right face-off dot, fed it through to Brinkett, he shoots! Oh, that looked like it hit the inside of the net, they score! DeBrinket's shot from the left circle, it looked like it hit the inside post and ricocheted out, but Taves was right there on the doorstep to clean up the rebound. It's a power play goal, and the Hawks now lead 4-1.
So Jonathan Taves actually was that left post as Alex DeBrincat slapped it towards his net, rather slapped it towards his chest, as we bring back in John and Colby for the third period. I love the basketball references, guys. If the Blackhawks keep that up on the power play, how about we call them Phi Slamma Jamma? Can we do that at least?
You can, I guess.
Okay.
But that's not a bad reference, Joe. Not bad at all. The only terminology that comes to mind for basketball, this shows you how pathetic I am, is dribbling and slam dunk. So hopefully the boys can dribble the puck at some point tonight and then slam dunk another goal and put the capper on their preseason.
John, you love this Blackhawks franchise so much. There's just not room in your heart to love another team as much as you love these guys.
I'm afraid that's, I'll raise my hand. Guilty. You're right. Guilty. Underway here in the third period. Wild still on a power play. They attack down the left wing of the Hawk zone. Kaprizov snaps one wide of the Hawk net. Rides around to the right point. Zuccarello put it down to Fiala along the right boards. Dispersion left circle. He sent the puck into the high slot. And the one-time snapshot there by Kaprizov is turned wide. The puck ends up back at center ice off a deflection. Here's Kirill Kaprizov back into the Hawk zone. Coughed up the puck high slot area. Tyler Johnson bats it away. Hawks have now come back to full strength. McCabe in the far corner Hawk zone. Sticks the puck up the glass to center ice, and then Merrow will glove it back into the Hawk zone. As Fiala touches, we get a whistle, and it's either going to be offside or a hand pass. Either way, the faceoff is coming to center ice.
And the Hawks successfully killing off another penalty. As we've seen over the last couple of games, the penalty kill has been improving, and we saw them get exposed in Detroit. They gave up, I think it was 4 power play goals. John, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's
but
correct.
Since that, they've been a lot better on the penalty kill. Their details have been better. They've been getting pucks out. A lot of good block shots. Jujar Kara and Ryan Carpenter have been really noticeably good killing penalties for this Blackhawks team.
And I don't recall seeing that many golden scoring chances by the opposition since that game against Detroit. I think you're right, the boys, to your point, the boys have tightened things up a little bit. Here's Jones firing from the line in the Minnesota zone. It was blocked in the slot. Merrill pushes the puck away to the far boards and then spins it down behind his net. Kulikov drags it out to center ice, gave the puck now to Hartman over the Hawk blue line. Let it go into the near corner. DeBrincat picks it off, works it around up the right side to Kane, and he'll backhand it to center ice where Kulikov grabs the puck and carries back into the Hawk zone, putting himself and his teammates offside. 4-1 favor of the Hawks.
Chicago Blackhawks sending out Jonathan Taves' line as his game continues to build. He had a funny line when chatting with the media earlier. He says, I plan to play in Colorado. Now, that's not up to me, but I would think that I'm probably going to play if I want to play. I'd say, yeah, he's probably correct.
Yeah, I think if the captain says, I plan on playing, I think he could probably make book on it. So we'll see. I think he's going to be there as well. He's looking like Jonathan Taves right now, which is a great thing. Taves from the corner, the right corner.
Right on cue.
Yep, centers to Kubalik in the left circle, and he snaps a shot in on goal, and Kakkonen is down with a butterfly save.
Just seeing the patience that he has with the puck. He's able to spin off checks and hold onto the puck under pressure. As good as I've seen in the preseason, really out of anybody, even besides Patrick Kane on the Chicago Blackhawks team. So what an asset to have back in your lineup with how good he is with the puck.
Well, one thing, Colby, I think that NHL players will tell you when competing against Jonathan Taves is that his core strength and his leg strength is really something to behold. I mean, he works at it tirelessly. And, guys can go into the weight room and lift weights and get a huge upper body. And here's Fiala to the Hawk net. Got a shot away, but it's turned away now by Fleury. And a big check by Doc on the far side on Goligoski. I'll finish that thought if I get a chance here in a minute. Behind the Hawk net, Fiala falls under Ian Mitchell. But Fiala came out with a puck back to his feet along the right wing board, sends it into the high slot. Spurgeon fires, that's turned wide. A follow-up shot from the left circle by Duhaime. Misses the Hawks net entirely and ricochets down ice into the Wild end. The teams make line changes. Spurgeon racing back the other way through center ice and in over the Hawk line. Fed it right circle for Bjugstad. Puck bounces off his stick blade. Bjugstad got it back from the boards. Put it down behind the Hawk net. Murphy there. Passing to the near corner. McCabe to Borgstrom at center ice. To Doc over the Wild line against the right side boards. He'll fire it toward the net. Deflected wide by Borgstrom.
Down the wall here, man. Yep.
Bjugstad flips the puck from the near boards in behind the Wild net. Spurgeon there sends it back to Bjugstad. Moves it across the rink. Goligoski in over the Hawk line to Bjugstad. A drop pass in the high slot. Poked away by Dylan Strome, who then takes the puck at the Hawk blue line and tips it down the left wing boards into the Wild end. Kulikov back to get the puck to Kaprizov at center ice on the right wing. Coughed it up to Ryan Carpenter. He was on the Blackhawks side of the center ice red stripe when he sent it all the way down. This means icing against the Hawks. But finishing up the thought on Taves, when you've got the kind of core strength that he does, combined with the leg strength, combined with the hands, the game sense, and the determination that guy has, that's a pretty tough guy to stop.
5-tool player right there. He's been big for the Blackhawks tonight, and he continues to improve and get better. His timing, his hands, the little details that probably weren't as sharp to start as he would have liked, but after missing a year, pretty understandable.
Inside the Hawk zone along the near sideboards. Entwistle knocked down from behind by Eriksson Ek, who steals the puck, and then Entwistle returns the favor as the puck topples over to DeHaan, and he'll flip it down to the Wild blue line. Kulikov there for Minnesota. Send it back toward the Hawk line. Carpenter in front of the penalty boxes now. Tried to chip it ahead. This is picked off by Kulikov. Now Merrill at the Wild line on the right wing side. Sent it ahead. Picked off by Jujhar Khaira. Works it past Merrill over the Wild line. Down the left wing. Put it out in front. Oh, and a nice save made by Kakkonen. As Ryan Carpenter was going to try and bat that one out of midair into the Wild net, but Kakkonen was able to glove it away before Carpenter could get there.
And the Blackhawk fourth line pinning Matt Zuccarello, who's been the most productive player for the Minnesota Wild. Got 7 or 8 points in the preseason, yet here's the Blackhawk fourth line with Jujhar Khaira, Ryan Carpenter, and Mackenzie Entwistle applying pressure. And we've talked about this, but now here comes Patrick Kane's line. The fourth line, they get the offense, they get it in on net, they get a whistle, and now Patrick Kane gets to start in the offensive zone.
Yep, draw to the right of Kakkonen.
And I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but it's important that we continue to point these plays out, because this is going to make a difference in the long haul, John.
Your fourth line can make the kind of a difference you're talking about. You're talking about a winning hockey club. Points in the standings for sure. Here's Jones back in the Hawk zone to the puck to break it left wing center ice. Hands it off to Kane through center in over the Wild line to Johnson. He'll fire for the right circle. Turned out of there by Kakkonen. Then a loose puck is corralled beside the Wild net by Dumba, who then sweeps it into the goal crease where Kakkonen will plop on him. A little crazy, scrambly play there. That one almost ended up in the Wild cage.
Well, first it's the basketball reference, and here's the baseball reference as the MLB playoffs are going on. Seth Jones following up a Tyler Johnson shot on Kakkonen, and he sees the puck up in the air, and instead of gloving it down, he just bats it back in on net, and that one could have found its way in. That was a tough save for Kakkonen right on top of the crease as Jones batted that one in on net.
By the way, did you see that game last night between Boston and Tampa Bay?
I did.
Like every other batter went yard. I mean, it was crazy. Here's a shot from Mitchell from the right point. That's into the glove of Kakkonen, who will hold it. We'll get another face-off in the Wild end.
And if we were to get Patrick Kane on here at some point and ask him, where would you like to start every shift? I have a pretty good idea. I know what he's going to tell us.
He's sure not going to say his defensive zone.
We'll leave it up to the imagination. Yeah. You at home that are listening, you can guess on this one.
Fill in the blanks. All right. Well, Jordan Greenway will now face off against the Hawks' Tyler Johnson. Greenway, a big kid, 6'6" and 230. Johnson beat him on the draw to Mitchell at the line. Tried to flip it down the right boards. This is picked off by Ryan Hartman. Bartlett native. Works it in over the Hawk line down the left wing to Foligno. Sent it to the near board. Spurgeon will fire from the right side boards, and a glove save made by Fleury. So he'll hold on to it there anyway. Face-off will be in the circle to Fleury's left, and the Wild will go with the new 5.
Yeah, the Blackhawks will do the same, and a lot has always been talked about the 1-2 punch of the Chicago Blackhawks. It's led them to quite a bit of success over the past 10 or 12 years, and here we're seeing it tonight. Patrick Kane's line, they go out, couple offensive zone opportunities, it comes back into the D zone, then here comes Jonathan Toews for the defensive zone draw, which he just won, and now you'll face this line.
Seth Jones with the puck behind the Hawk net. Give it to Riley Stillman, left wing side. He snaps a pass ahead for Dominic Kubalik at the Wild line. Deflects it behind the net. Taken there by Kurashev, who lost his footing, but retained the puck in the right wing corner. Left it there for Jonathan Toews. A penalty will be called now. And holding will be the call to Jordy Ben. He was pinning Jonathan Toews against the boards. And just a little too vigorously, and he was caught.
Minnesota penalty number 8, 2 minutes holding.
Jordy Ben took his arm off his stick because Jonathan Toews in the left-hand corner tries to cut backwards. So when Jordy Ben wraps him up with that free hand and doesn't allow Toews to continue to move along, that's going to be a penalty. And we'll see this first power play unit with 4 forwards again for the Blackhawks.
Penalty at 5:04 of the third period. This is the Hawks' 4th feeling good Sitco power play. Kane from the right circle lets it rip on a one-timer after being set up by Jones. And the shot sails over the net, around the glass, and back down into the Hawk end. Jones will leave the puck behind the Hawk net. DeBrincat circling in to get it, will carry out. Here's the Cat to center ice. He's got a goal tonight. Drops it off to Patrick Kane, coming along through center ice and over the Wild line to Toews, left wing boards. Center left point to DeBrincat. Leaves it there for Seth Jones. Down to DeBrincat, left face-off dot. Jams it into the slot. Batted away by Johnson to Kane right corner. Out to Jones at the line deep slot to Kane in the right circle. Saucer pass across for DeBrincat. Hit Eriksson X-stick. Deflects away but not out. Jones a nice keep in left point. Here's DeBrincat from the left circle. Firing. Pad save made by Kakkonen. Hawks retain the puck. Toews down the side of the net. Put it over to DeBrincat left circle. To Jones. Straight away high slot to Kane right circle. To DeBrincat left on. He fires and a blocker save made by Kakkonen. Great puck movement on this power play. Here's Jones, high slot to DeBrincat, top of the left circle to Kane, bottom of the right. Now DeBrincat left face-off dot. Shoot, he scores! And it may be Toews in front that redirected that one past Kakkonen. It's another power play goal. The Hawks are 2 for 4 on their power play and now lead the game 5-1.
Well, the Blackhawks are all smiles on the power play now. Unbelievable puck movement by this first group. Crossing the box multiple times. Patrick Kane faking his slap shot, moving it across to Alex DeBrincat, who then fakes another shot back into the middle, and Jonathan Toews is right on top of the crease. He's going to redirect this one past Kakkonen, and that is a tic-tac-toe play by this Blackhawks power play, and that goal by Jonathan Toews with the assist to Patrick Kane, sponsored by ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check out Chevy's Shop Click and Drive. Shop online 24/7 at ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Here's the Hawks attacking again. Borgstrom takes a pass from Strome in the left circle and wires one toward the net. This hits the stick of Kakkonen and deflects up and out of play. Well, the Hawks are having some fun now, to quote Steve Martin, the comedian. 5-1, the Hawks lead with 13:23 left in the third. Back after this, you're listening to Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Enter to win a pair of tickets to the fabulously fun musical Legally Blonde, based on the adored movie at the Metropolis Performing Arts Center in Arlington Heights. Playing through November 20th. Details at WGNradio.com/contests.
AmerisourceBergen is hiring in our distribution centers at a location near you. Our warehouse roles offer competitive wages, sign-on bonuses where applicable, and full medical and dental benefits. Full-time and part-time roles and multiple shifts are available. No experience is necessary. For more information, visit AmerisourceBergen.com/careers and apply online. Again, that's AmerisourceBergen.com/careers to apply online today. AmerisourceBergen is an equal opportunity employer, minority, women, veterans, people with disabilities.
When you use exceptional tools, you get exceptional results, like Purdy's high-quality brushes and roller covers. They're designed with excellent paint pickup and even paint release, which helps you finish the job faster. Good thing, because your client just decided she wants her kitchen color to be soulful gray, not summer gray. Guess you better write that change order. Make it perfect. Make sure it's Purdy, the #1 brand preferred by pros. Get it at Lowe's.
Chicago's very own 720 WGN. When and where you want us.
Welcome back into this third period, 13:23 remaining in the third period. The Blackhawks enjoying a 5-1 lead. The power play for the Blackhawks tonight, John, has been fun to watch. The first couple, not so much, but the last couple, just enjoyable to see this group move the puck around so well.
That's been impressive. The hard work done by the coaching staff, led by head coach Jeremy Colleton, starting to see dividends. Jeremy talked about that in the behind-the-bench segment, how it seems like he feels it's trending the correct way. And that's a good thing. Now we're going to get a scrap. It's Duhaime battling with Riley Stillman in the near corner Hawk zone. Brandon Duhaime coming to the defense of his teammate. Takes a right hand from Riley Stillman. And Duhaime has lost his helmet. And now they break the scrap up. So Riley Stillman, the son of Corey Stillman, I'll sit it out in the penalty box. He and Duhaime just threw down and threw hands for a couple
number
seconds.
61, Minnesota number 65. 5 minutes each for fighting.
The refs were quick to jump in there and get between them, and we're looking at the replay right now. This started with Stillman finishing a good hit on Nico Sturm in the left side corner. A clean hit, just out-manning, out-physical play on Nico Sturm, and Brandon Duhaime took exception to it, came in, asked him to go. Couple of punches, the refs kind of got in between, and Stillman caught him with one there once the two linemen were... He better be careful there. He almost tagged the lineman with a right-handed punch, and Brandon Duhaime, not a real happy camper as he skated over to the penalty box. He seemed a little bit annoyed at the officials for getting in between him so much. And right now, Jeremy Colleton talking to the officials. Not really sure what about, trying to do a little bit of lip reading, but it seems like the two have come to an agreement, and we'll drop the puck here with 13 minutes left in this third period.
If you're Brandon Duhaime, I think you just earned some points with the rest of the players on that Wild bench for sticking up for a teammate like that. And he's a kid that hasn't secured a roster spot as of yet. But right there, I think he put himself in the good favor of his teammates and the coach, by the way, the head coach of the Wild, Dean Evison, accumulated over 1,000 penalty minutes in his career, and he was known to mix it up while playing for the Hartford Whalers and the San Jose Sharks. Evison was a tough nut from Flin Flon, Manitoba. Inside the Wild zone in the near corner. Sturm ridden off the puck. Ryan Carpenter got it for the Hawks and flips it out to center ice. Calvin DeHaan will settle it down and flip it back into the Hawks zone to Seth Jones. Hawks and Wild are in line changes.
We talk about habits, John, and we talk about this Chicago Blackhocks team being up 5-1 and growth moments, different opportunities to evaluate your team, and right now is another one. You've got to play with the lead. You can't get sloppy. You don't want to take unnecessary chances. You want to keep playing the right way and not just start cheating offensively.
Well, inside the Wild zone, the puck stolen by DeBrincat, sets up the slot. Kane to Johnson, back over to DeBrincat, he shoots. Oh, and a blocker save is made by Kokkonen. How did he get to that one?
That looked like a pinball back and forth between Johnson, Kane, and DeBrincat.
There's Jones at the right point. Slings it down behind the Wild net off the boards. Around it goes to DeHaan along the left side boards. Protecting the puck, gave it to Kane left point. It could have been offside, but Kane slings it down to the end boards where Jordy Ben throws Tyler Johnson down to the ice and then keeps him down on the ice with one hand. As the Wild get the puck back, Gaudreau in the far corner. Put it behind the Wild net near corner, Jordy Ben. He'll carry up the right wing, stopping at his blue line. Then drops the puck back into the Wild zone to Dumba. He'll clear to center ice to Fiala. Stripped of the puck by Kurashev. Back in over the Wild line. Down the left wing to the corner. Turning on Dumba. He'll try and flip it behind the Wild net and did to Taves. Taves around up the right side boards. Here's Taves through the high slot. Drop pass for McCabe. Stripped away by Fiala of the Wild. Racing back through center ice with a puck over the Hawk line. Put it across for Kaprizov, who fell down on one knee as he tried to one-time the puck. Never got through to the net. Taves the other way to Kurashev over the Wild line. Cuts back to the high slot. Let one go toward the net with a backhand block. Kurashev takes it back and wings one in on goal from the high slot. And Kakkonen is down with a butterfly save again. For the Hawks, that's their 34th shot on goal of the night. Kakkonen has gone the distance for the Wild. And you have to give Kakkonen a lot of credit. He stopped 29 of 34, but boy, he's had to make some tough saves.
The last 2 or 3 minutes, DeBrinket's been point blank. Kane has been point blank. Not exactly two guys you want to have sitting on the goal crease with free wax at the puck, but this is a complete effort right now. We have not seen all 4 lines having a great game at the same time yet. There's been bits and pieces, John, throughout this preseason, but tonight you're seeing 4 lines and 6D really play well for Chicago.
Yeah, and the timing couldn't be better as they're about to start the regular season against a couple of pretty tough opponents, namely the Colorado Avalanche, coming up midweek next week. Inside the Hawk zone, here's Zuccarello in the near circle. He lost the puck. Kirby Dach hit by Eric Sinek after he'd relinquished the puck. It was a little bit late on that check, but no penalty call. Borgstrom, meanwhile, firing the puck down the left wing boards. Down behind the Wild net, it goes to the far side where Strome will flip it back in behind. Here's Dach to the puck left circle. Feeds it left point. McCabe down to Strome along the left boards to Seth Jones through the high slot. Jones stopping top of the left circle. Unloads a wrist shot that just missed. Boy, you really see the velocity on Seth Jones' shot right there. He can really get a lot on it. It hit the end boards, and the Wild will get it back.
And we really haven't seen Jones unload any at the top of the power play. Maybe he's waiting for the regular season. Maybe he doesn't have enough sticks right now. I don't know what, but he does shoot the puck hard, and I expect to see it.
Maybe he doesn't have enough sticks. I never even gave that a thought. But you're right.
I'm sure he's got more than enough sticks. I'm
maybe
just having a little bit of fun here.
Maybe I need to go over to Gunzo's and load up a little bit.
Pick a couple of Sherwoods up for him,
Now back inside the Wild zone again. Carpenter steals the puck along the left wing boards, hands it to Jujar Kara left circle, and he'll stick it on goal from the left circle. And that's stopped by Kakkonen as Alex Goligoski is down in the near circle in the Wild zone, and he may be injured. He's going to head to the bench as we get a little gathering in behind the Wild net. The linesmen are there as well. 5-1 in favor of the Hawks with 8:44 left in the third period here at the United Center. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Steve Bertrand brings you Chicago's afternoon news every weekday 4 till 7.
Veterans, you stepped up for our freedom. You deserve the freedom to move about your home. If you served in a branch of the armed forces, enter for the chance to win a home stair lift with installation from Access Elevator. Visit WGNradio.com/contests.
New puppy? Shop online at Chewy. Get food, beds, prescriptions, and more. We've got everything you need to welcome your new friend home. Plus, you get fast free shipping on orders over $49. Visit Chewy.com today.
All those leaves changing colors mean one thing. It's time to change your oil right along with them. So head to Advanced Auto Parts for an oil change bundle. 5 quarts of Mobil 1, Castrol, Valvoline, or Pennzoil Full Synthetic Oil, and a qualifying premium oil filter for $37.99. Plus, right now, if you choose a qualifying Mobil 1 bundle, you also get free Spray 9 disinfecting cleaner. Advance your auto at Advanced Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
People are waking up to something new all across America. Hi, I'm Adrienne Bankert, the host of News Nation's brand new show, Morning in America. It's a morning show that's offering a fresh perspective on the day's stories. We have the opportunity to change the way we think about the news. It's about being informative and inspiring every single day. It's that type of intention, that type of good we want to share with all of America.
Morning in America, weekdays starting at 6 a.m. on News Nation.
Well, we were just making a couple of jokes about maybe Seth Jones needing a couple of extra sticks because you were complimenting him on just how hard and quick he shoots the puck when he gets an opportunity in the slot. And I think that's something we're going to see a lot of this year. And his brother Caleb, also a member of the Blackhawks, who is currently got a wrist sprain, so he's going to be out for the next couple of weeks. He had a good camp up until he dealt with his injury, so we'll see him back here at some point, John.
Yep, I was impressed with Caleb's play.
Me too.
I mean, not only did he get involved, but he made good plays. He made safe plays. He made smart plays. And positionally, he was very good in all the scrimmages that I saw. Inside the Hawk zone to the corner to the left of Fleury. They scrum for the puck. And the Hawks have an outnumbered situation going against the Wild. Mitchell pushing on one of the Wild players. I can't get a number for you, folks. They continue to scrum for the puck. And Kara reaching in there, knocks it out of there. Spurgeon got the puck right point to the left circle. Goligoski, he'll fire, block. Goligoski got it back in front and wipes it on goal with a backhand. Turned out of there by Fleury. Then Mitchell grabs the loose puck and clears it off the right boards down to the Wild blue line. Hawks will get a much-needed line change.
Chicago doing a nice job of sorting things out. They're hemmed in their own zone. They're all collapsed in front of Fleury, and then when they have the opportunity, everybody moves out on their man.
Here's Sturm into the Hawk zone off the gift from Goligoski. A long wrist shot from the high slot, and Fleury gloves it and holds on. Whistle stops play. Face-off in the Hawk zone. This will be to Fleury's right. And 7:46 left in regulation with the Hawks owning a 5-1 lead. Colby, I would think that Jeremy Colleton might want to see a little more out of his bottom six here, just to kind of get the feeling of what he's truly got there.
And as you're talking about that, Riley Stillman leaves the penalty box after his 5-minute major and gets a standing ovation with all his teammates tapping their sticks. That's normal to see when a guy drops their gloves and fights, especially in the preseason.
Yeah. Draw to the right of Fleury. Wild get it. Jordy Ben wings one in from the left point. That just missed the net. Puck ricochets up the near boards to DeBrincat. He put it in behind, far corner to Jake McCabe. Outlets to center ice, Tyler Johnson. To Patrick Kane across the Wild line. He spins it down the boards in behind the Wild net, intended for Johnson. Johnson boots it over to Kane. Fed the left circle for DeBrincat with a saucer pass. Pass sailed over his stick. McCabe came down from the left point. Flips the puck in front of the Wild net, but it's taken back by the Wild. Here's Duhaime into the Hawk zone down the right wing. Let's go a backhand, and that deflects off Murphy's stick up into the protective netting. So we get a whistle stopping play. This will keep the face-off in the Hawk zone to Fleury's left. And Fleury, by the way, I don't know if you saw it, he just gave a tap to Connor Murphy with the stick. Thanks for blocking that, bud. Appreciate it.
Something that I've noticed throughout this game is the Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat, they played hockey together. They've got chemistry together. But now all of a sudden, Tyler Johnson comes over from Tampa Bay. You're starting to see that chemistry build with Tyler Johnson. There was a couple of plays on that last shift where Kane no look to Johnson. Johnson goes in, no look to Kane. So you're starting to see that read and react and not as much thought out of Kane's line.
Now, Johnson, to your point there, Colby, Johnson knows what kind of a player Kane is and likewise. And so having had the benefit of playing 10-plus seasons in the NHL and facing one another multiple times, you'd have to kind of understand the animal that you're dealing with. You know, Kane's got immense offensive talent and creativity, and Johnson's got the speed, the determination, good finish. So I'm excited to see that line start the regular season.
I think they'll just get better and better, too. I mean, they played a couple of preseason games. They started camp right away, so they've had a lot of practice time, but they're just going to get better because it does take time to really get to know a guy that you're playing with, especially with Patrick Kane, who makes plays that nobody else does. So you've got to be ready, even when you don't think you have to be ready, because Kane will find you. His vision is that good.
Here's Eriksson Ek to the Hawk blue line on the right wing. Spits the puck into the right wing corner. Calvin DeHaan there for the Hawks. Will send it behind the net into the far corner. Strome wedges it free, but right to Kaprizov. Kaprizov battling with DeHaan. DeHaan's got him pinned against the boards, but Kaprizov muscling out of there with the puck, then lost it to Strome. Quick hand off to Doc. Doc then hands it off to Borgstrom, who was tied up there by Zuccarello, who steals the puck. And Zuccarello had it poke-checked off his stick to the left wing boards. Zuccarello there to get it to Kaprizov, wheeling through the high slot. Kirby Doc with a timely poke-check knocked it away, but Spurgeon took the puck and took it down the left wing to the corner and put it behind the Hawk net. Kaprizov out to Spurgeon, right point. Passing to Zuccarello. One too many passes by the Wild. Hawks intercept. Strome to Borgstrom to the Wild line left wing near the end of his shift. He'll flip the puck deep to the end boards. And the rest of the Hawks will get off on a change. Meanwhile, Carpenter in on Zuccarello in the far corner, Wild in. Works the puck free to Entwistle. Rolls it out to the right point. Murphy had it tapped away by Hartman. The two of them vie for the puck, and Murphy falls awkwardly at the Hawk blue line. No penalty called. Meanwhile, here's a shot from Foligno from the high slot. And that deflects over the Hawk net. Hartman took it back, moves it left point, Ben. He'll leave it to Dumba left point. High slot now for Greenway, who turns and fires one wide of the Hawk net. Hartman grabs the rebound, gave it to Greenway, wheels into the slot and rifles a shot just wide. Murphy grabs the puck behind the Hawk net. He'll stick it around the boards to center ice, and the Wild will regroup. And then Dumba sent a pass into the Hawk zone that misses everybody. McKay put it over to Murphy along the right boards. To Kane, curling into the Hawk end, tops of the circles, allowing the Hawks to complete a line change. And it's that line we were talking about. Kane along with DeBrincat and Johnson. Kane's ass hands it off to DeBrincat over the Wild line, left wing side. For Johnson, left point, now down to DeBrincat along the left wing boards. He'll carry to the point, leave it for Ian Mitchell. Mitchell from the left point, looking for an option there. Gave it to DeBrincat high slot to Stillman there. And then Stillman backhands the puck off the right corner glass in the Wild end. Johnson spins it behind the net into the near corner. John Merrill took the puck away for Minnesota, clears to center ice. Ian Mitchell back into the Wild zone. Passing to the left wing boards for Kane. All he can do is guide it down to the left wing corner. Mitchell there, pinned by Merrill. The puck pops out. Here's Johnson in front. Snaps one toward the net. Kokkonen got the stick on it. Stillman took it away, right point. Send it down toward the Wild net, deflected over the net by Kane. And the Wild will come out of their end, led by Dmitry Kulikov to center ice. He dumps it into the right wing corner, Hawk zone. Seth Jones back to get it. Passing it up the right wing, Taves at center ice. Rink-wide pass for Kubalik, skips off his stick blade, and Spurgeon will knock it back ice into the Hawk zone. Kubalik with an outlet pass from DeHaan to center ice. To Taves over the Wild line to the right wing, stopping on a dime beside the circle. Taves sets up Jones left point. To DeHaan, top of the right circle. Fed it in front, deflects wide to the left wing corner. Taves has the puck there. He'll sweep it in behind the Wild net into the right wing corner. And Spurgeon knocks it out of there. The Wild will clear their zone. Goligoski to center ice. Tried to advance it into the Hawk zone with a backhand. Could not. Gaudreau brought the puck into the Hawk zone, and as he does, he puts the Wild offside. 2:36 left in the hockey game. It's the Hawks 5 and the Wild 1. Come back for the happy conclusion to the preseason right after you hear this break. You're listening to Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
I'm pretty sure our new house might be haunted.
What makes you say that?
The furniture is levitating. Oh, and the ghost.
Welcome home.
Yeah, that's spooky.
You know what's really scary? Missing out on Geico for help with homeowners and renters insurance. Geico makes it easy to save a bunch.
Great! You're not sticking around, right?
The party's just getting started.
Happy Geico Week. Call today and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
Where do you want the roofing business to take you? To a nicer house? To family vacations? A comfortable retirement? Wherever you're going, GAF contractor programs and products can help you get there. Visit gaf.com/get there.
Come into Bell Tire today. You'll get the lowest tire price, period. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. You'll also get a guy who will give you free lifetime flat repairs, tire rotations, and alignment checks. Get up to $200 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires. Plus more free services and more out of your tires and more for your money. It's how we make the lowest tire price feel even lower at Bell Tire. See store and belltire.com for details and offer expiration.
There's Pablo in his natural habitat, opening his internet bill in fear. No! He just saw his 12-month promotional price ended. Uh-oh, and he just discovered the equipment fees. Back away slowly.
If your internet bill drives you wild, just remember, you're not a bad person. You just need a straightforward price. Get AT&T Fiber. Unlimited internet with no price increase at 12 months. Visit att.com/no hidden fees. Limited availability in select areas.
The Blackhawks, Wildcats, and the NFL play here on AM 720. On smart speakers, say play WGN Chicago.
Back to the United Center, John Weideman along with Colby Cohen here for Chicago Blackhawks hockey. By the way, this next game preview is sponsored by Plumbers 911 Chicago. Visit plumbers911.com for emergency plumbing service. We'll be in Colorado. We'll be in Denver to start the 21-22 season against the Colorado Avalanche. Nathan McKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog, who just signed a new contract. And the ever-tough Colorado Avalanche, not only do you have to fight the altitude, you got to battle that young Colorado team, and boy, do they have some speed and some skill. A top line that comprises Mikko Rantanen along with McKinnon and Landeskog can be an absolute nightmare to play against. So we'll see how the Hawks handle it. Here's Doc the other way out of the Hawk zone to center ice. Sweeps the puck across the rink. DeHaan's got it in front of the penalty boxes. He'll wind it down the boards in behind the Wild net. Around it goes behind the net to the far corner. Jordy Ben is there. Gave it to Matt Dumba. Here's Dumba, who scored the game winner in overtime the other night up in Minnie. Flipping the puck ahead off the boards into the Hawk end. DeHaan's got it now behind the net. Moves it over, far corner to Murphy. Outlet up the right wing, Carpenter at center ice to Entwistle coming by. Over the Wild line to the right wing corner where he gives a cold shoulder to Merrow, who tried to hit him. Now a shot from the line by McCabe is knocked wide by Kakkonen. Entwistle took the carom of the puck in the high slot area. Deeks fell down but sends it over to Murphy, right point. And Murphy is hit by Sturm. Put the puck down the boards. Duhaime will drag it out to center ice. He and Carpenter battle in front of the Wild bench. And the Wild get the puck back. Kulikov, Wild line to Nico Sturm. He moves it to Kulikov over the Hawk line, right point, down to Sturm along the right wing boards with 1:05 on the clock. To Kulikov straight away. A drive from the deep slot, sails over the net, hits the glass. Exactly 1 minute left in the preseason. In the far circle Hawk zone, Jake McCabe pries the puck free to Patrick Kane along the boards. Moves it out to center ice. Bjugstad will take it back and flip it back into the Wild end between the circles to Ben. Then a pass up the right wing, Ryan Hartman. He gains the Hawk line, right wing, and sends it down behind the net off the carom. Kane's got the puck. Lost it to Hartman, who poke checks it away. Got the puck to Matthew Dumba. He fires a screaming eagle over the net. And now to Brinkett from the Hawk zone, clearing to center ice, and Hartman bats it back into the Hawk zone. Puts the Wild offside, and they're going to run the faceoff all the way down into the Minnesota zone in the circle to the right of Kakkonen.
Well, this has been the most fun game that you and I have done. We've done what? This will be our 5th preseason game. I'm filling in for your legendary partner, the former Blackhawk Troy Murray, who we know is listening along at home, and we've been keeping in touch. He's been giving me a couple of pointers just how to make sure that I don't say anything to get me in trouble on the broadcast here.
Hey, you better be extra careful with that because you're working with me. I've been known to put my foot in my mouth.
Hey, he said you got to watch out for Johnny. You got to keep an eye on him. He'll throw some words at you. You may have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I dig them out of the dictionary and then I try to figure out what they mean. 3 seconds in the preseason. Stillman put it over to the far corner, and time elapses, and the Hawks win their final game of the preseason. They beat the Minnesota Wild convincingly 5-1. The Hawks' final ledger for the preseason is now 3-1-2. The Wild's final record for the preseason, 3-3-1.
And tonight, it's an easy one. The Ditch Witch Midwest player of the game, it's got to be the captain, Jonathan Taves. A couple of goals. The power play looked good. Won a ton of faceoffs. How good is it to see the captain back on home ice in front of the fans playing well? And that's sponsored by Ditch Witch Midwest. Since 1970, Ditch Witch Midwest has been your partner for trenchers, cable plows, and directional drills. Visit ditchwitchmidwest.com.
Well said. And you just had a moment here, Colby. It's probably the first time you've seen it, where the boys assemble over the center ice circle and raise their sticks as one to this partisan crowd to the accompaniment of the foghorn. That means a Blackhawks victory. And in a moment, we're going to pick up the 3 stars of tonight's game. Any predictions on who might be the number 1 star?
I think they're going to go with my pick. That's just my guess. But this Blackhawks victory is sponsored by VictoryAutoWreckers.com. Victory Auto Wreckers, that old car is worth money.
The 3rd star from the Blackhawks with 25 saves, number 29, Marc-Andre Fleury. The 2nd star from the Blackhawks with 1 goal and 2 assists, number 12, Alex DeBrincat.
The Cat. Good to see him finding the range. And listen to this ovation.
And tonight's #1 star from the Blackhawks with 2 goals, number 19, Jonathan Toews.
It gives me chills. It gives me chills to see the captain step off the bench and raise his stick in front of this partisan crowd to the accompaniment of the song Johnny Be Good. Great night for the Blackhawk fans here at the United Center. The Hawks win their final preseason game 5-1 over the Minnesota Wild. Colby and I will be back with plenty more right after you hear these messages. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
As a roofer, you need accurate roof measurements and you need them fast. GAF Quick Measure gives you single-family residence roof measurements in less than an hour. Learn more and order your first report today at gaf.com/quickmeasure.
You might know MD Wise is a provider of health insurance, and we are, but we feel called to do way more than that. Like arranging free rides for those who don't have another way to get to the doctor, the dentist, or the drugstore. We also know healthy food is important, so we arrange free rides to the grocery and farmers market too. These are just a few of our extra services, because caring for Hoosiers beyond insurance could be the wisest thing we do. mdwise.org/more.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is reconnecting neighborhoods by growing community gardens and farms through the Love Tito's Block to Block program. By teaming up with Love Tito's, Growing Places Indy is able to replace and rebuild raised garden beds at its main farm site. To lend a hand and become a volunteer, visit growingplacesindy.org/volunteer. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume.
Lou Manfredini helps you around the house Saturday morning starting at 6.
Back to the United Center, and they're still cheering. They just interviewed Jonathan Toews down at the Blackhawks bench, and many of this partisan crowd stayed here to witness the interview and cheer the captain on. People are so happy to see him back, and I personally am happy to see him back, Colby, because for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's just not the same team without him when he is the captain of the team. And number two, from getting to know Jonathan Toews over the years, he's a class act. He's a guy that represents the Blackhawks in class fashion. When he retires from the game, his sweater's going right to the ceiling here at the United Center, and I consider it our good fortune to be able to be a part of his career, just this small part of his career, to see the success that he has. Yeah, it's a preseason game. You can't get too hepped up, but just to see him back after the year and the duress he went through last year really is amazing.
I think you can get hyped up over a preseason game because it's the last preseason game. It is the dress rehearsal that leads you in to the regular season. So his performance tonight was the best performance that he's had. You've seen him get better from the day camp open to today, which you could say is the day camp closes, and he's ready to go, and he looks good, and I'm excited. I've got to watch this guy play in the NHL for a long time as a player, as a fan, now as an analyst, and I'm looking forward to getting to see it every night now.
Well, I can tell you this. One of the other things that really warmed my heart here tonight was to see the section right in front of our Safe Home, the broadcast booth here at the United Center. This is section 318. We affectionately refer to this section as the neighborhood. And people that we see every single game come up here. They always say hi. They bring stuff during we're probably going to get a package, you and I, in Halloween.
Well, then I'm going to save it for Troy, okay?
Yeah.
It's, all they ever ask us, though, is where's Troy? When's Troy? That's the first question that always comes our way, and I've said it numerous times throughout the preseason. These fans are unbelievable. You can see them coming back in, and it's been fun getting to know them and just getting to keep the seat a little warm for a couple of weeks.
Yep, absolutely. And just to see the crowd enjoying Blackhawks hockey again, with this number of people that we've seen in here, I think it really is a wonderful thing, especially when everything shut down March 11th of 2020, and we didn't know where we were going. The world didn't know where it was going. To see everybody back in this building like this, enjoying Blackhawk victories, it's really something very special. Well, Colby, we're going to move along. We got to get this thing to our buddy Joe Brand for the post-game show, but any final thoughts you want to share on the Blackhawks preseason?
It was good to see the team get better throughout preseason. There was a lot of wins within these games. The power play, the penalty kill got better. The power play looked good. A lot of puck movement. The bottom of the lineup where all the competition and all the depth that we talked about over the last 2 weeks, they really put their best foot forward, and they made it tough on management and Jeremy Colleton to figure out who exactly is going to make this team and who's going to be in the lineup in Colorado.
But they'll tell you that those are decisions that they like to have. They like the tough decisions, and they've been pretty good here recently at making the right decisions, I think. And so the team that takes on the Colorado Avalanche in Denver in a couple of nights, I think they're going to give it... I think they're going to give the Avalanche maybe a better game than they're expecting. It's going to be a great crowd in Colorado. They're going to be crazy wild, but the Blackhawks are going to go in there business as usual, looking for 2 points, and we'll see how it goes. But a great job by you during the broadcast in Troy Murray's stead during the preseason. Fist bump for you, and we'll do it again in Denver in a couple
days.
Sure
will. See you on the plane in a couple days.
Absolutely. Thanks to Colby Cohen for some great color all the way through our preseason and tonight as well. Big thanks for our engineer tonight. He pinch hit for Paul Zarang. You know I'm talking about, Mr. Nick Hepner. Put her there. Good job, buddy. Special thanks as well to the hard-working crew at our flagship station. And tonight it was led by Brett Jackson along with Ben Anderson. That's all they needed, just 2 guys. They got to everything. They were great. Thanks as well to the I don't know how many thousand Blackhawk fans that came here to the United Center tonight and enjoyed the final preseason game the Blackhawks played, a 5-1 victory over the Minnesota Wild. If you're listening right now in your car or wherever you might be, please drive safely on your way home, and we'll see you back here for the home opener in about 10 days when the Blackhawks take on the New York Islanders. We save our final thanks of the evening for our good friend Joe Brand, who did some pretty special duty from Blackhawks Central. He got us through Blackhawks Central pregame, through the intermissions. He's going to get you home with the Blackhawks postgame show, otherwise known as the Bitcoin of America postgame show. I've been missing that, so to the folks at Bitcoin, I apologize. I got it this time. One more time, the final score was the Hawks 5 and the Wild 1. The preseason is over. On to the regular season. For everybody I mentioned, I'm John Weideman from the United Center here on Chicago's West Side. Thank you